So we start the new year with the sad news that a man has been shot 200 times with an upholstery gun. Surgeons say that he's now fully recovered.
God, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. The other day I took a boat out and I noticed a few pieces of meat were floating past the side of the boat because obviously the sea was a little choppy. I was in the cinema actually as well, and I went to get an ice cream, and I said I want to buy an ice cream, and the guy behind the counter said hundreds and thousands. I said no, I'll just start with a one.
Fucking hell.
You didn't get a new joke book for Christmas then, no?
Well, actually. Anyway, but I feel I've just finished off by saying I felt the new year, I needed to do some introspection, so I grabbed a map of Korea. I did a bit of soul searching. Think about it. It's,
No, there's no thinking
soul.
about it.
Soul, indeed. Anyway, there you go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to 2024 Black Dog, episode 157. I'm Lee.
I'm Darren.
I'm Jim.
I'm Elton.
And this week we will be seeing how everyone's Christmas break went, New Year's break went, and then we will see if there's any feedback for last year's episode. Last year's episode? Yeah, last episode, last year, which was Robocop. Robert Cop.
Robert Cop.
Robert Cop. Yeah. Yeah.
Was that really the last episode we did?
Yes, that was really the last.
Feels like ages ago.
It feels like forever, doesn't it? now we're back, and it feels like the first time as we review this year. We hit the ground running, reviewing Zack Snyder's Button Moon. I'm not correcting it. You can figure it out for yourself or not. It's up to you. But I might not be burying the lead as to how precisely I feel about this film. But we'll be getting to that in a short while. Anyway, let's get round to how your week / fortnight / month / 2024 has been so far. And we'll start with you, Jim. How's it been, sir?
Not too bad. We had a nice sort of quiet Christmas. Mm-hmm. All things considered. I did cook probably my best yet Christmas dinner, which I was quite proud of. Mm-hmm. Having the air fryer was a big help.
Ah, yes. Blessed be the air fryer.
Oh, no.
Blessed be the air fryer.
Oh, not more air fryer converts. It's
Lee,
just...
let's make a pact. We never get one,
No,
okay?
Never getting one. Never
Bless
getting
you,
one.
my brother. Bless you.
It's gonna be like fucking Donald Pleasance and Veronica Cartwright in Invasion of the Body Snatchers, isn't it? One of us is going to turn to the other, and we're going to go air fryer.
we need some sort of choral music like they have in Halo.
Hold on, I can see what I can do.
Yeah, that'll do.
Hold on, there you go. So
God bless you, brother. God bless you.
welcome to the air fryer thing.
beneath its gaze.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll let that fade out. There you go. So, Jim, so you've got a bloody air fryer.
Oh, yes, yeah, it was very handy. Because the thing is, doing a roast dinner, you've got a lot of things need to be on the top shelf all at the same time. If you've only got a small oven, that's a bit of a bugger. But the air fryer to the rescue. Oh. However, that's not the important thing. I made a major leap forward in Christmas dinner technology.
Don't say an air fryer.
No.
Oh, right.
Normally,
2 air fryers.
No. I was tempted. But normally you'd have Yorkshire puddings and pigs in blankets.
Mm.
I made a culinary leap forward and combined the two.
Pigs in blankets inside.
Pigs in toads with the hole in blankets puddings.
Praise be.
Pigs in blankets
Under his
in
eye.
the holes puddings.
Basically, you tray of Yorkshire puddings,
Yeah.
and you put your pigs in blankets pre-cooked into them. So your Yorkshire puddings are like a mini toad in the hole, but it's a pigs in the blanket in the hole.
It's a pig in a hole.
Piggy
Yeah.
hole. The Jim's piggy hole.
Yeah.
Whole
That sounds
pig. Yeah.
Hogfather puddings, I'm calling them.
Hogfather puddings.
There you go. You heard it first. TM.
Go on, Elton. What?
Doesn't it just look like a tray of foreskins?
Do you often
First bite
look
is-
at trays of
I don't know what
sausage?
your foreskins like.
I'm never having sausages round his place again, I'll tell you that now.
Yeah. First bites
It's
with
large,
the eye.
puffy, and crusty. See your
The
doctor.
sausages are fine, but the skins are a bit chewy.
Wow. Yeah, Elton. I think I'd roll that one back a little bit. I just went to phrasing. Yeah. Let's just take a step back.
2 skin, 3 skin.
Skin.
Oh,
Right. Okay. Pigs in the blankets in foreskins in puff pastry or what? What was that? Less than 5 minutes and the wheels have come off. Fantastic.
Yep, one new world record.
Yep.
Like
I think.
that Billy and Johnny sketch, isn't it? They
What's
used to do on the Hale and Pace. Look what I've got, children. I'm eating a banana. A banana. Should we peel the banana, children?
Yep.
1 skin,
2 skin.
2 skin,
Yep.
3 skin. Oh, look who's just turned up.
Yeah. So pigs in blankets in holes. Is that that's
Made
the
with
colour?
4 skins. Yeah.
Next Christmas, you'll be doing it, trust me.
Oh, we. Oh, yes, I will. Yes, I will. And did you make those in the oven, like a
Oh, yes, they were done in the oven, yeah.
not the air fryer?
No.
Oh, thank fuck for that.
No Yorkshire puddings, top shelf, in the oven. The piece de resistance of any roast dinner.
Yeah,
Last thing to come out. Yep.
yeah,
That's how it's doing it properly.
yeah. Maybe I'm going out on a limb now, but you've fired my mind up here. How about this? Just putting it out there. You get your Yorkshire pudding, and as it's starting to grow up and it's doing that whole thing of going around the outside, you put your pigs in blanket in it, yeah? But not before you put in a bit of stuffing first. Put the pig in blanket, then put some stuffing on top, and then put another Yorkshire pudding on top of that. And you can have pigs in stuffing, in balls, in holes in Yorkshire.
Or you could just call them stuff your pigs in blankets.
Stuff your pigs in my
Yorkie.
balls. Stuffed balls. Stuffing piggy blankets.
But if you went to go old school, I mean, originally Yorkshire puddings were done in a big tray. They were all like gigantic. It's only us modern peasants do these little ones. If you went back to the original ones, you could put your whole Christmas dinner and serve that in one giant Yorkshire pudding.
They were like the size of the Milton Keynes bowl. That's what they were like, yeah.
Yeah, but you don't get Milton Keynes puddings. You can't have that
No,
down.
of course not.
No. So, or you could go really traditional and just get a Yorkshireman and just put the pigs in blankets in them.
Or you can
And
make
then
a
it'd be
dessert
Yorkshire
out of
and
a
then stick
Yorkshireman,
them in
and then it really would be Yorkshire pudding.
Exactly.
A really dark version.
Yeah.
The Hannibal Lecter cookbook version.
Yes.
I went to a hotel once on a training course, and the restaurant that we were using was like one of these carveries, and it was up in where was it? I forget. Middlesbrough, I think it was. Yeah, Middlesbrough.
Dogging lay-by on the M6.
It
No?
probably, yeah. and they had massive Yorkshire puddings. And at one stage, one kid went up to get the family a whole row of these Yorkshire puddings and came back walking, like milkmen used to carry the milk bottles in between their fingers.
Oh.
He just carried like 10 of them like that. Just dished them out to the family. It was disgusting. It was hideous, but man, they were huge.
So it was like those Athena posters you used to get back in the 90s where you had a fireman carrying a bunch of tyres.
Yeah, that's it.
Right, okay. I've got a mental image. Probably that kid from that family from that fucking advert that you see on telly all the time. That obnoxious family going on holiday. A TUI advert or something.
Oh, I've seen that one. Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as that family turns up, you just think, "Fuck that family! I'm changing flights. There's no way I'm going on a trip with them within earshot. No way." Anyway, sorry, Jim. How was the rest of you? Carry on. We got diverted.
So other than that, it was fairly quiet, fairly pleasant. Just about finished all the chocolate and biscuits, which
Nice.
9th of January, pretty good. Still got some left. That's quite. As you get older, that's more and more of an achievement.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I'm eating this stuff sensibly. I've not just wolfed it all on Boxing Day and gone to hospital in a sugar-induced coma.
Just me, then.
Yeah. Walking around like Pinhead with insulin needles sticking out of your face.
We have such sights to show you.
Well, wait a minute.
I did, but I ate them.
Yeah. Give me a second. I've still got some of my cake left.
But other than that, I found some new and interesting Christmas movies, which are on my list to keep an eye on. Should they turn up on streaming for next year?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There we are.
There's a great Spanish horror comedy called Day of the Beast.
Day of the Beast.
Set in Madrid on Christmas Eve, where a priest has to stop the birth of Satan.
Oh.
And in order to get in touch with Satan, he thinks he has to commit as many sins as possible.
Oh.
And ends up teaming up with a TV psychic and a black metal fanatic in order to try and stop the Antichrist. That's very entertaining. Not family friendly, not very Christmassy, but very entertaining.
That has high concept written all over it.
It does. It's very funny. Well,
Yeah.
But yeah, I got a few of those kind of. If the streaming gods are kind, you might be in for a treat.
Oh, okay.
Or not.
Or not. Okay. I'm a little worried now, but that's cool. Okay. Day of the Beast. That sounds interesting.
Yeah. That's one to watch out for.
Cool. I'll keep an eye on that because I was thinking last year we should have done some off-brand Christmas films, but best we could come up with was Robot Cop. But there you go. We weren't putting a lot of thought into it by that point. Cool. Anything else, sir?
No, I think I'll leave that there for now.
Okay, fair enough. Cool. Right then, Elton, you're up, sir.
Okay, I don't know which order to do these, so I will do. I've been watching a Netflix documentary. Very boring. I'm enjoying it, but I don't know if other people will enjoy it or not. But it's about World War II.
Right.
And it's the World War II, something about the front lines or something like that. But what they've done is they've taken the original footage they've got and then put their footage on there to kind of seamlessly blend it in.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks really, really good.
What's it called?
Oh, hang on. I've got it on the phone.
Oh.
It is called World War II From the Front Lines.
Oh,
There's a couple of episodes on it, but it does look really, really good.
And is it narrated or anything? Is just
it is. Yeah, it's a proper World War II documentary, like the World at War type thing. But the stuff that they've put in, you can hardly see where the transition is. Sometimes you're like, that's some dude in the studio, but most of the time it just blends in and it just adds a little notch to everything that you're watching.
Nice.
So I'm enjoying that at the moment. I haven't finished that yet, though. Don't spoil it. But
I think we do okay. You don't have to worry too much.
I will go next with my tooth. Just giving everyone a trigger warning.
Oh god!
Right about now. So this is going back a little bit. So in 2019, I broke a tooth.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
But that was at the time when my dad was going through poorly stuff, and we
Yeah.
all know what happened there.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, do you know what? I'll just put it off until next year. It'll be fine. We'll get through all this crap. And then the world went to shit.
Yes.
And was it last weekend? It was last weekend. I bit down on it.
Ow.
And now you're talking to a man who has only got one filling at the moment in his mouth. So I've never had that pain.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm 45 years. I've never had that pain before. That electrical shooting,
Yeah.
and my whole world just went slow motion, and it was as if I was constantly biting down on it, and my brain was going, "Stop that! Why are you still biting down on this? Stop it!" And then the pain will go away. And then I released. Got rid of what I was eating. Holy shit. God, that holds with you for a little bit, doesn't it?
It does.
It's not a thing that you forget in a hurry.
No.
No.
Oh, Jesus.
So, yeah, I think it's time I need to get this sorted out.
Elwyn, I found a good thing for toothache. If you do
Cocaine.
get it.
Ice skates.
Yeah, cocaine. Ice skates. No, it's
A hammer and 5 seconds.
it's ibuprofen and codeine.
Yes.
Those tablets, my fucking word, do they help?
Yeah.
Take-
Sulfadine will do it. Definitely. Will do the trick.
Right.
Takes about 20 minutes to kick in, but I'll tell you what, you just feel it's like a cloud lifts. You just feel it just dissipating.
Okay.
Though I will just say as the crass one of the group that if you take Sulfadine and you're panicked enough about dentists as I am, so you try and take as much as you can for as long as you can before you absolutely positively have no other option but to go to the dentist ever. As I do, you suddenly discover that codeine has one other rather unfortunate property, which involves constipation. And then when
Yes,
it wears
it does.
off, oh dear God.
Yeah.
So
Chocolate rain.
well, it was more like the very slow launch of a very large tanker. It's almost like the start of like Star Trek: The Motion Picture as the Enterprise slowly drifts out of dock for 15 minutes, while the music goes. Yeah.
Captain's log, Stardate.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So
It's like
yes,
watching the birth of a blue whale.
it's like a time lapse of a submarine being constructed. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought I'd get that one out the way. So yeah, never had that pain before. That's wow. That was
Rather
different
special,
level.
wasn't
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. It's welcome to our world, oh innocent child.
Yeah.
Yes.
Over the Christmas period, my son brought his PlayStation 5 down. So that was nice to actually get to play on one of them. And turns out, well, he had the FIFA game, or whatever
Oh,
they
yes.
call now.
Yeah.
And wow, how the turntables have turned.
What do you mean?
Well, I remember distinctively bitch slapping that shit many, many times, and just secretly enjoying it. And that has now turned right around. I haven't played a FIFA game in 15 years, I don't think. The last football game I bought was Pro Evolution.
It was Sensible Soccer on the Commodore 64.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Pro Evolution 15 or something like that. I don't know.
Pro
But,
Evo. Oh my God.
yeah, I
Yeah.
love Pro Evo. It's so much better.
Yeah.
But yeah, playing that and just it. I know before he moved down, and we had a few games on like the PS4 years and years ago, and he was just getting good, and I felt that rage of, oh, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. Why is he not doing that? It's really slow and laggy. No, it's just my reactions now. And we had a few arguments about it when I'd beat him and he'd beat me. And that has kind of worked its way to him thrashing the arse off of me
Yes.
and destroying me. And all them waves of emotions came flooding back very, very quickly. I was coming out with all the same old bullshit I was coming out with like 5 or 6 years ago when I was last playing him. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, there's the memories. Isn't that fun? That's wonderful, isn't it?
Nice.
So yeah, old man playing FIFA, not working anymore. And the last thing I want to talk about. Now, we did have a electrical delivery this year.
Right, okay.
And it was a console.
Ooh.
Can you guess which console?
Well, considering the way you're being secretive, I'm just going to jump straight to a Nintendo Switch.
No, further back.
Further back?
Yeah.
Oh,
So this is
Big
retro.
20.
20.
Jupiter Ace. Jupiter Ace? No?
Jesus
A
Christ.
ColecoVision.
Is it one of those Binatone game systems that are a little bit of a rip-off of the Atari? But
Was it
weren't
in
that
Star
good?
Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace?
Oh, fucking hell.
Was it in Billy Bob Thornton's Rubber Moon? No? Okay. No?
No,
Is it an
okay.
Atari 2600?
No.
Is it a Commodore 64?
Is it a video recorder?
Is it a Commodore PET?
Is it a DVD player?
Is it an Atari 600?
Is it a laser disc?
Is it a ColecoVision? Over to you, Dave. Take it.
Is it that device, that's got loads of pictures around it, and when you push it round, it looks like the horses jumping over fences and stuff.
Zoe
And
trope.
you got a Zoe trope. That's the one. Yeah.
Is
that
it
A Viewmaster.
Is it a flick book? Where you got like
Is
loads
it-
of pictures on the page, and when you flick the book, it makes it look like they're all moving.
Is it a Nintendo Entertainment System circa 1982?
Is it a circle of cardboard, right, with two loops of paper coming out of it, and you spin it round, right, and then when you pull it, it makes it look like the image is moving?
Is it a Vectrex?
Is it a comb with some tissue paper or tracing paper? Is it 2 cans of Coke with a bit of string looped in between them?
Is it an Atari ST?
Is it a rather large refrigerator with a boat in it? Oh, fucking
Is
hell.
it an Amstrad CPC 464 with green screen?
Is it a Texas Instruments scientific calculator?
Is it a Commodore Amiga
Jesus
CD32?
Christ.
Is it a Sega Saturn
Is it a Sega Mega Drive?
with
okay.
CD
Is it an
player?
Atari Jaguar?
Weirdly, you
Is it a
guys,
Vectrex?
you guys
We said Vectrex. No,
are shit. You guys
Is
are
it a Game
shit at
Boy?
battlefields, aren't you? There's lots of white pins going in and no red pins at all.
Battlefield?
Battleships, sorry.
So are you.
Yeah, I know. Fuck.
Oh.
Is
Anyway.
it that game by Toby that you put your face like binoculars? That could even be
3D
like one
vision.
about racing. Yeah, 3D that, or it was a tank, or it was a plane. Is it that game Firefox? The one that looked like a little arcade game you could get. Is it no? Is it that one?
Is it a Game & Watch?
Is it Snakes and Ladders?
What I'm really worried about is if we ever have another meetup,
it
people are just
Ludo?
going to come up to me and go, is it this or is it that?
Is it a Game Boy?
Is it Pickup Sticks? No.
Anyway, no. None of them hit the mark. So,
Is it Yahtzee?
oh, fucking hell.
Is it... Is it... never mind.
Is it?
Go on.
Is it Guess Who?
Because we ain't
Does he
very
look
good
like
at
You
that?
are
bitch.
playing Guess Who. Flipping hell.
Is it that pirate? It was in a barrel and you put like little plastic knives in
Pop-up
it.
pirate.
Pop-up pirate, that's the one. Is it a tape featuring the kids from Fame?
Yeah.
Is it Simon?
Yeah.
Is it Atmosphere with the VHS tape?
Is it a Jack in a box?
Ejaculate in a box. What?
Ejaculate in a box. Yeah. Is it?
Dick in a
Is
box.
Is it ejaculant in a container?
Go on, Elton.
No, it was.
Is it some crackers from
Oh,
a
fucking
no,
hell.
all right, okay, sorry. I'll shut up.
Go
I'll
on,
shut
go
up. Is it a deck of cards?
Go on. We're dying to know. Go on,
Yeah, I'll
Elton.
bet you are. Yeah.
Go on,
Once
Elton.
again, Elton's start of the sentence could have been over in 2 seconds flat. They've extrapolated this into an entire episode of a podcast. What's on Elton's mind? That's what we should call this. Yes.
Oh,
Where we-
Jesus.
Elton starts a sentence and we try and finish it for him.
It's
That's what we do.
it's like fucking call my bluff, innit? Just need someone at the other end.
With Derek, whatever his name was. I don't know.
Jacobs, wasn't it?
Derek Jacobs. Yeah, made some lovely
It was a
crackers out, bloke.
fucking wee. Okay.
Some wee. Who sent that through the post to you, Elton? Ooh.
Well,
Oh,
if I'm
Avery.
on- if I'm honest, that's a bit of an anticlimax, to be honest. You know,
Really? Really?
Yeah.
I didn't
It wasn't
ask for
even-
this, you know.
It wasn't even that game Tank Commander that I used to have when I was little.
Yeah,
It was,
jeez.
absolutely, nobody knew how it worked.
No.
It's like Subutio. How the fuck do you play that?
No.
You know?
So anyway, this thing turned up. my mum had this way back in like 2009 or
Yeah.
or
So it's not a Game & Watch.
No,
A
it's
Donkey
not,
Kong Game & Watch.
No, we've done that
No.
one.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And it I think when my mum had a bit of a clear out, it ended up going to my brother, and that just sat in a garage for a little while, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to get rid of this." And they offered it and said, "Yeah, do you want it?" I went, "Yeah, okay, bring it up." And my mum brought it up just before Christmas, and we set it all up to have a little game. And man, it is a toy. It's not really like a console or anything like that. It is a toy. And it's something you get out when you have people round. It is not a sit down and, I think I might break this one out and play on this thing. And so we played bowling and everything like that. It was thoroughly entertaining. Although a couple of things, once again, had a little bit of a flashback when you're like, is the strap on, before you like
Is it?
send. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's a rather odd wee pie, although it's actually quite appropriate. Something about that kind of goes. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, hold on.
But the really nice thing that came out of it, honestly, this was really, really nice. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
So we're playing bowling, and then okay, right, what should we do? Because we've only got 2 controllers, so we're sharing all the controllers around, and it's all a bit novelty and a bit retro, and we're like really enjoying it. And we decided to play ping pong on it, and so we got the ping pong, and then my daughter was playing ping pong. I was like, "Who are you playing against?" And it's like one of the other me's on the system.
Yeah.
It was my old man.
Oh.
Whoa.
Which was, it was like, oh, hang on. Oh, that's really nice. And it was really, really nice. And when you're doing bowling, like he stood on the side looking at you. He's like, oh, that's so cool. So yeah, nice. After that long meander to get to there,
Yeah.
nice little warming
Well,
thing there.
fair enough. That's a nice little warming the cockles of your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or vaguely terrifying, depending on your point of view.
It could be, yes, because I do look like a drug addict on it. Yeah, weird.
Well, I was
Realised,
thinking more about the sort of like the spirit of your father sort of looming out of the Wii at you, basically. But
Well, like the Ring.
yeah, it's just kind of he's watching you from the table tennis court. Don't switch me off, Elton. Don't.
That would be terrifying. One of them me things coming out of the TV.
Yeah, he just turns and looks at you and goes, "Don't switch me off."
Yeah.
It's like,
When he turns up,
"Ooh."
it's when he turns up in a PS5 game. That's when you got to start thinking that something's.
At least
you
the
know.
graphics will be better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's good. You know.
But no, that was a nice little thing.
That actually was nice, and yes, absolutely, that's really cool. So a tear was shed, no doubt.
A little bit, yeah. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think if the roles were reversed and it was in my family, they'd just go, "Oh, for fuck's sake, that's this space we could use. It's been used up here. I'll just get wiped out." Be the end of that.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, right, cool. Anything else, sir?
No, that's it. I'm worn out after that now. Thank you very much.
That was. Thank you for the lovely, heartwarming finale to your week. That's good. Cool. Okie dokie. Well, let's head on over with a warm glow in our hearts to Darren. How's your week, fortnight, Christmas thing, sir?
It was lovely because I was at home and I wasn't in work. So
That's the benefit. That's it, is it?
Yeah, as I say, a bad day at home's always better than a good day at work.
Hang on.
So,
hang
Hang on. Yeah.
You left us on a cliffhanger last time.
I did, and I'm about to tell you.
Oh,
I'm about
yes.
to tell you what happened. with
Go
that.
on.
Okay, because,
You might need to catch Jim up on it as well.
Yeah. Okay, previously on the Black Dog podcast.
Yeah.
So when we last spoke, when us four or when us three of us last met, I was waiting for the arrival of a new sofa.
Yes, your pizza boxes.
Of course, yes.
That's right, and rather, and as a show of support, of course, Lee and Elton tried to convince me that it wouldn't turn up before Christmas Eve.
No.
And that I'd be sat on pizza boxes. So, thanks for that, guys.
Yeah,
No,
always
much love,
there.
Much love. Much love.
Unfortunately, you forgot to order pizzas and so had no boxes.
Well, no. Yeah, that's all it was. I was sat on pizzas.
Sat on a delivery bloke.
But it's nice and warm, I'll tell you that now. Wow.
Mr. Barnard, I need to go back to the shop now. No, Mr. Barnard, no. Sit down. My sofa ain't arrived.
I need to go back to Papa John's.
My Uber phone is still ringing. I need to go pick up some groceries for 2 doors down. No. Shut up. Sit down. You staying right there. Yes. Go on anyway.
Go when I fucking say you will go.
Go on.
Get back under the stairs. Yeah. So it showed up. It showed up on time, and we've been loving it. It's such a world of difference.
You've been loving your sofa.
Been loving the sofa, considering the one we had before. Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, 'cause it's new, so it doesn't make that sound.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
Nice.
So so it did turn up on time. So yeah, that was good. That was good.
Okay.
Let's see, what else did we do? So because it was Christmas, Maria, there's certain films that she's never seen, so we thought for Christmas, we'd sort of like just expand our horizons a bit. So what I did was. No. I got
The Lighthouse.
I got a real festive
Toxic
film.
Avenger.
No. We showed her The Mist. I said, "You're going to love this. You're going to love this."
Merry
She went, "Am
Christmas.
I went, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, the ending's a corker." I said, "Leave you with a real feeling in your heart when you watch this."
Yeah, so we said, warm your cockles of your heart. Here's some hot
indeed.
chocolate, and now we're going to watch Pink Flamingos.
She ain't spoken to me since.
No?
That was before Christmas. Yeah.
All
that's
right,
it.
there you go. That's it.
So yes.
Isn't
So,
isn't
there was
family
that.
time grand? Yep.
I've got to say, even watching the film again after all this time, I think it's got to be my favourite Stephen King movie.
You genuinely did just watch The Mist with your
Yeah, we generally watched it. Yeah,
yeah.
We genuinely watched it.
And she genuinely isn't speaking to you. Because
Yeah,
that would make
that's it.
sense.
Yeah, the relationship is just broken down.
It's been irrevocably. Yeah, she's realised you're going to actually take the gun to her before you take the gun to yourself. If the situation was
Exactly.
to ever.
Yeah, she knows my plan now for the apocalypse. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. No, honest. It's the end. It really is the end of everything.
Of everything. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, those aren't headlights coming up the hill from
No,
the
not at all.
army
Not at all.
tank. No,
Not at
it's not. Click.
So yeah. So there was that. So, but I've got to say, I still think it is my favourite Stephen King movie. It's the one that I think the best, the most well done. I don't actually remember seeing another one that I really enjoyed much as The Mist.
Oh right. Shawshank.
Yeah, Shawshank, very good, but I still say The Mist for me tops even that one.
That's it. Cool.
You know.
Okay. Fair enough.
So, and it was good seeing Andre Braugher. Is it how do you spell
Yeah.
pronounce
Yeah,
his name?
Braugher,
The late Andre Braugher from Brooklyn Nine-Nine play a completely different character
Yeah.
to what we'd used to seeing him
Yeah.
as Holt. You
Yeah.
know?
He was a good cat. He was a good
is
cat.
he in that? Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays the neighbour of Thomas Jane.
Yeah. Who's super sensible until he's not.
Indeed, indeed.
Until the script demands that he's not sensible anymore.
Yep, that's right. But you know, as I say, still very
Yeah,
enjoyable movie
cool.
to watch. Let's see, what else did we watch over the Christmas period? We watched. We had a bit of a whiplash moment with the quality, or should I say, with the actual seriousness of the films we were watching. First of all, we watched The Woman King. Have you heard of that?
No.
Oh,
Woman
dear.
King?
The Woman
Yeah.
King?
Woman King, yeah.
Isn't that
Is that the
not-
Queen?
Yeah.
Is that the phrase you're looking for?
That's what I was about to say.
It's called Woman King. It's
Right.
called Woman King, and it's all based in. It's based on West Africa during the 1890s when the slave trade was really quite. You know, it was in
You're
full
really
swing.
pushing the boat on the Christmas movies here, aren't
Yeah,
we?
I know.
Yeah.
I know,
What do you do
I know.
Christmas Day? Fucking shower? Schindler's List double bill?
No, it's all about a troupe of these sort of like elite female warriors that were guarding the king of a certain province in Africa, and it shows us a different side to the slave trade. Whereas you normally get the whole thing of a lot of slavers coming over and sort of like kidnapping individuals and taking them back and selling them. What this was about was some of the kingdoms were making lots of money out of giving their own people, selling them to the slavers, the French slavers, right?
Right.
So this is like, well, this is a bit unusual. And it's this one king that comes to power that's like, no more. This has got to stop. So he uses his sort of like his bodyguards basically. Who I'm pretty sure is it the Doji Malaja from Black Panther? I'm pretty sure they were based on
Right.
these women.
I know Viola Davis is in this.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they do not fuck about, these women at all.
No.
Right? You see them take this fucking slavers camp apart, and yeah, there's just nobody left by the end of it. They just
Nice.
go through them
Like
fucking
butter.
like a hot knife through fucking butter.
Like a knife through butter.
Indeed.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely fucking brilliant movie. I think it won a couple of Oscars.
Did it? Okay.
Oh, I might be wrong. Or was it there? No, the controversy was it didn't, and it should have.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely brilliant film. So if you can see it, Woman King.
And what's that on? Is that on a particular service?
I think it's on Amazon. We were around Ree's mum and dad's
Right.
when we were watching it around there, and yeah, just an absolutely brilliant
Sure,
film.
it's not on a BAFTA screener?
No, it's not BAFTA screener. No, it's not BAFTA screener.
Okay. Right.
And then after that, of course, to keep in with the whole sort of the feeling and to
the
keep
bright and cheerful
the-
feeling, yeah.
the bright and cheerful feeling, we had the whiplashing quality where we went to Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
That's actually not a bad laugh, I didn't think.
No, it's not. That's the thing. We watched it and I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So we watched the sequel straight after. Right?
That's the one with Danny DeVito, isn't it?
It's the one with Danny DeVito who goes into the Rock's body.
That's
so
it.
you've got him going, "Hey, what?" all the time. You've got Kevin Hart. His sort of like his video game character is now played by. It's got Danny Glover. That's who's got into him. So
Yeah.
it's watching Kevin Hart trying to do a convincing Danny Glover
80-year-old
impression.
Danny Glover impression, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I actually thought they were quite fun movies, a pair of them.
they're quite
So,
fun.
and I hear there's a third one
Oh, I don't know about that.
coming out at some point. I think there is. There's rumours of it anyway. But I think I would actually sit and watch them. But they are remarkably different to one another as well, considering who gets into what character
Yes.
from the other one. So, yeah, if you want a bit of a laugh, nothing else to watch, stick on a bit of Jumanji.
Yeah, lighten the day after you watched all your characters die in fucking The Mist. It'd be great.
Yeah, indeed.
Nothing like a bit of nihilistic Swedish house music going in the background while you die. Yeah, it's great. Just keeps you lively and keeps everyone smiling, doesn't it?
It certainly does. It certainly
Yes.
does. And to keep on the cheerful level, I've started picking up books again and reading. I haven't really sat and seriously read any novels for a couple of years now. It's all been watching shit on Netflix and
So-
Amazon and stuff like that.
What did you do? Just sort of follow this all up with a lovely bedside reading around the campfire of The Road or something, did you?
No. I'm at the moment I'm reading The Troop, which is
Oh my god!
yeah, exactly. I did start off quite light. I did read the The Storyteller by Dave Grohl, which is all about stories about the stuff that he's encountered on his times in the music business,
Yeah.
which is a great novel, very, very interesting, funny, sad in places as well. So yeah, highly recommend that. But yeah, The Troop, a book about a bunch of scouts who they're on their sort of like which is possibly the last time they're all going to go out and do the scout thing. They go to this
Yeah.
island, and they're going to do like their final badges and stuff like this. And an individual turns up on the island, and that's where things go take a bit of a right fucking turn. I'm really enjoying it so far. Jim, I know you've read the book.
Don't read it while you're eating. That's
No,
what I'll say about the second half.
I'm not reading it. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to read it while I'm eating at all. So, yeah. Yeah, it's I'm into about was it chapter 8 of it so far, and it's like I can already see where part of this is going. So yeah,
Nice.
thumbs up for that one.
It is very well written. It is very well done, but it is a very gross book,
Nice.
but in a
Yeah.
good way.
I've got to say, the guy who played the character Tim. I already had an actor pop into my head. If they ever make a film of this, and it's the guy that was in Parks and Rec and also in The Last of Us. Oh God, he's
Nick Offerman.
Nick Hoffman. Yeah, him.
Right.
I have automatically pegged that character to be Nick Hoffman in a film.
Right.
To me, I think it's just the way he's described. It's like, that's Nick Offerman. That's who
Yeah.
that is. Nick Offerman. We'll have him. So yes, The Troop.
Cool. Who wrote it, by the way? Because I can't.
Nick Cutter.
Nick Cutter.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Jim.
There you go. Cool. Ah, right. Okay. Anything else, sir? All good?
No, apart from the usual, stuffing face full of food,
Okay.
that
Cool.
kind of thing.
Fine. Okie dokie. Right. Well, then in which case I'll go on to my week, and then we'll do any feedback for Fallen, not RoboCop.
Oh, there it is.
Fucking, I completely forgot.
Fallen. That's it.
Got
yes.
it tits up, didn't I? Where
Yes.
I spent half the bloody podcast trying to work out what book I bloody had read, which had the same plot. Anyway,
That was another Christmas film.
yes,
Traditionally Christmas film.
that was,
by
wasn't
myself.
it? Yeah.
Yes.
Nothing says Christmas and a serial killer body hopping round Denzel Washington in the snow.
Indeed.
Indeed. Yeah. Anyway, my holiday break was on the whole pretty good. Yeah, got together, family round, kind of thing. Lots of chocolate and food, and no magical wrapped piggies or anything like that. But as far as it goes, I got some nice stuff, which I was quite pleased about. I got The Art of the Creator, which is a really good book. If you haven't seen The Creator, but I would say still get this book. It's got some lovely artwork in it. Anyway, but the main story is that along came a COVID, and it took me out of the fucking picture pretty much from New Year's Eve wallop, and I was out for the count until yesterday, which was great.
And
So-
Dozy.
So in the meantime, what I did do, is I actually created a Letterboxd account. Have you seen Letterboxd? Do you know what that is?
No.
Imagine
Oh, yes, yeah.
it's like a diary, social media thing for tracking films. So
Oh,
as you
right,
watch
okay.
films, you can
Basically, a written record of your piracy if you're not careful.
Well, yeah, it could be. Yeah, it can be, because obviously it's got literally the dates of you watching things and the dates of you and the things when they come out in the UK. So yeah, you have to be a bit careful. But that means, what it does mean is that I've actually got a diary of everything I've watched while I've been off ill. And so I can just quickly skip through them. We started New Year's Day with Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, obviously. Gladiator, again, which just happened to be on the same channel straight after. Then I watched, finally, right through to the end, Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets.
Oh, dear.
I have
okay.
tried to watch that piece of shit 4 times, and each time I've bailed at the same point, which is when Cara Delevingne gets a fucking squid on her head and covered in goo, and I just like, that's it, peace out. It's an hallucinatory mushroom jellyfish thing.
Go on, let's just face it, Lee. That's not the first film you've seen where a woman gets a load of goo dumped on her head, is it?
I'm not pressing the button. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Anyway, I managed to make it through to the end this time without my eyes crossing. And I managed to make it through to the end, and it's absolute bollocks. I've never seen a film which is such a pile of absolute tosh. Well, actually, I
saw
have.
that. Yeah, I
have.
saw that some time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I have
Pretty
seen.
film, from what I remember.
Until you start listening to Dane DeHaan trying to talk like fucking Keanu Reeves trying to do sums in his head.
It's one of those things. If you look at the French comic it's based on, it's kind of like who cast him in that role?
Yeah.
Because he's meant to be this big square-jawed
Yeah,
kind of
like Archer.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. You know what I mean? Not
Yeah.
this little scrote.
Yes.
He's just completely wrong. It's kind of.
Yeah, he looks like someone.
It's like we're doing the Terminator again. Who have we got? You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Joe Pasquale. It's that sort of casting. It's fucking mental.
It is. It's fucking insane. So that was gobshite. I watched The Martian, and then I watched. Now here's the 2 I'm going to talk about, or 3 actually. I'm going to talk about. First one. Now this is how desperate I was getting. Right, it was like there'd been no updates to Amazon Prime. And there weren't any films I was particularly interested in. And all the rest were like paid for rentals, and I wasn't going to take a risk on it. So the only one I hadn't seen was Nandor Fodor and the Talking Mongoose.
What? Nandor.
Nandor. Yeah. Well, actually,
Guillermo?
it's
Guillermo?
Paper.
Oh shit! I forgot to say I watched the latest season of that over
Oh.
Christmas as well. Fucking love that show.
Yeah. But Nandor Fodor and the Talking Mongoose is Simon Pegg, right?
Yeah.
And Minnie Driver. And essentially, on paper, listen to this. This actually sounds all right. Basically, there's a guy and his secretary, or who's really like the smarter of the two, and it's like a 1930s based X-Files that people believe all sorts of stuff, and essentially, when they don't believe something and they would like science to debunk it,
Yeah.
they get this Nandor Fodor dude in, and he goes in and he tries to solve the problem. Like, and it is like X-Files. You've got the believer and you've got the non-believer sort of traipsing around trying to solve problems. And this is about this talking mongoose. And the talking mongoose in question is the voice of Neil Gaiman. So
Oh.
you start thinking, maybe there's something in this. Except there isn't. What happens is the mystery is solved within about 3 minutes of the film kicking off. And then the rest of it is just them having a bit of a jolly and all their sort of comedy mates like Paul Kay and all those kind of lots, just kind of strolling around a sort of like Dartmoor sort of moors and all this kind of thing, going, oh, maybe the mongoose is in this cave and all this kind of thing. And it's just fucking tedious. It's the most tedious fucking thing I've watched in a long time. And then, obviously, except for what we're about to review, and then it's just like, and I just watched it, and I'm just thinking, I know I'm like near death and up to my eyes in COVID drugs and whatnot, and paracetamol and ibuprofen and everything else, but I genuinely can't see who this film is for. It's not funny. It's not well acted. Simon Pegg's Bulgarian, New York, Irish, Scottish, English, slightly Welsh, maybe Swedish accent kind of flits all over the globe like some kind of very lost Bugs Bunny. The story is just gibberish, and it all comes down to the end, sort of like, well, what do you believe? And it's like, what?
I believe this is bollocks.
I believe I've wasted an hour and 45 of my time, but luckily I haven't been out of this bed in nearly 48 hours, so I'll accept it. So there was that, and it's just rubbish.
And there's you sitting in your state going, maybe Oblivion isn't so bad after all.
Yeah, maybe if this COVID could just, hurry it up and just kill me off, that'd be great. Then I watched another film called Eileen, which has...
Oh, come on.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey.
Which is a 1940s, 1950s era sort of dark film noir with Anne Hathaway and Thomasin McKenzie as these two people who work female workers in a male prison, and one of them looks after like the visitors and one of them is the psychiatrist. And there's kind of like that sort of femme fatale thing going on. And there's like the young girl who's naive and she wants to get out of town. And then there's this glamorous-looking Anne Hathaway who may or may not have some ulterior motive going on. Seems to be the brightest, the most interesting thing in this town. And it's kind of like... It was intriguing, and I was really on board with it until the last 5 minutes when literally, and I'm not making this up, this film takes an hour and odd in change to get to, what is actually going on here? Where is this film going? It's really mysterious. It's really curious. And then all of a sudden, it just goes, and then this happened. And here's a montage while we play jazz really loudly over the top of people talking so you can't hear them. Bing, bang, bong, off. And then the thing ends. And you're like,
Oh.
what? And I literally rewound the film 3 times to understand the last 5 minutes of that film. And then I went on the Wikipedia for the film, and I still didn't understand. So I then went back again and looked at the Wikipedia for the book. And then I understood what had happened. If you ever want to see something go off the rails faster than this podcast, watch that film, because it goes 2 hours of building up and curious noir sort of mysterious sexuality, and it's all a bit dark, and where's this going? And then all of a sudden it just goes the end.
Oh,
Yeah, that's that.
okay.
Yeah, and then the last thing I watched. There is another film, but you can look on Letterboxd for my review of that, because I'm not going to go into that because it's just quite straightforward. But I watched. Someone recommended. In fact, I think 2 people recommended me this, and I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to give it a bloody good go. Scavenger's Reign.
Right.
Yeah.
I watched 12 episodes of that.
Mm-hmm.
I felt there was at least 1 episode of plot. The other 11 episodes were an extended version of a Rick and Morty skit where he takes an animal out of another animal, puts a gem into the animal, puts a laser beam into it, fires some gel at it, it farts, it takes the acid, puts it around the edge of his fucking glass and goes, nice margarita. That show looks beautiful, is animated amazingly.
Yep.
The voice work is great. The imagination behind the world building is impressive. But that's really what it wanted to do. It wanted to show you that world it had thought up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
the story behind it is not original at all.
The story
That's it.
behind it is fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah,
It literally
it
is a 5-minute manga short. And, and it's told over 12 fucking hours.
It's like you say, though, as you point out, it's the imagination used in building that world that's the thing that that's the thing that really stands out about it.
Which is fine, but you can't make a show about that unless you're making like a pop video or you're making a show reel for concept artists. But just because you've thought of an idea of having white trees and white birds that land on the white trees so you don't see them, or a cow-like animal which has 3 tongues sticking out of his arsehole, it makes no fucking sense. It's just like, okay, great. Well done. Nice imagination. Great. Or even better, where's your supplier? Please let me have some. I mean, it's and then there's no passing of time, and you think, right, okay, fine, but you have no idea how, because Jim, have you heard of this thing?
Vaguely.
Okay, the whole plot. Right, here's the plot. This is 12 episodes of plot, so please prepare yourself for it. Spaceship goes out of its way, gets in the wrong place, gets hit, damaged. Everyone abandons ship. Cut to 3 groups of survivors. A guy and a lady in one group. A guy on his own who's been trapped in a space pod for God knows how long, and then one lady who's with a talking robot, and she treats the talking robot like shit. One group brings the spaceship that they abandoned down to the planet, and then they walk to the spaceship. That's it. That's the entire plot, start to finish. Mm-hmm. Start to finish. 12 episodes, that is. What then? The problem is the imagination is fine, but the problem is the imagination builds things that make no sense, or does that Doctor Who thing of kind of like, we thought of an idea, here's the idea, will we use that idea again? Absolutely not. And it's just like, so you're just showing me stuff.
That's what TV is.
No,
They show you stuff.
fantastic, Alan. Thank you for that. But allow me to...
I get it with cinema now.
It makes fucking
Oh, it's
sense.
just everything. That's it. It's blown my
show
tiny
you
little
stuff.
mind.
Do you mean I need to unsubscribe from the Stevie Wonder Cinema podcast?
Yeah, this is where you've been going wrong all this time, mate. This
Fuck
is
it. Right. What about the Ray Charles one?
Oh no, they're so last year. It's so last year.
But no,
I enjoyed driving with Ray Charles.
Top Gear with Ray Charles.
No, yeah, the people around him didn't.
Passengers didn't.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is it's just showing you just a bunch of clever things, which, like, for example, here's a good example, not a major spoiler, just a thing, right? In one section, without any idea of how they found this stuff out. These two people, and I'm not saying who they are or anything like that, go down, they see a cave, they know, for reasons that don't become clear because they have no sensing equipment, no nothing, they know that they can't go into this cave because it'll give them, I don't know, the heebie-jeebies or the shits or something. So, on the ground, hanging from a tree, I think it is, are a bunch of things that look like fish with big fucking great eyes. So what they do is they take the fish off the tree. They split the fish in half, and the fish just happens to have two little tentacles. They stick the tentacles up their own nostrils, and then the fish acts like a mouth filter, breather, for them. They go in the cave, do something. Come out the cave, they throw the fish away. Right? And you think, that's really clever. But then later on, they have to do something where they have to go through another particularly misty, dodgy fucking place. Well, shall we get more fish? Shall we bring those gas fish? No, we've had that idea. That's an old idea. We'll go through these trees. These trees will come back. Go backwards because of a feather of this strange triangle turkey. Okay. Let's wave the feather. The trees go back like never-ending story. You go through the trees. And as you go through the trees, one of the characters sees a little tiny light bulb. And they look at the light bulb. The light bulb opens up. It's like the fucking night garden. This light bulb opens up. It shows you a daffodil. In the daffodil is a little tiny frog person who just gets up and goes, puts out a load of little tiny light spots. And then he dies, and then the fucking light bulb closes up. What does it mean? Don't know. What does it have?
This is the thing, right? With this, my argument with this is it's supposed to be an alien world, right? You get so many programs, science fiction programs, where they go to a planet and it's just like Quarry near Dartford,
yeah,
right? So
yeah.
This is showing you a proper alien world. There's no explanation for half this shit because, well, why would there be?
No, I'm not asking for them to give me a fucking codex like the fucking Hitchhiker's Guide. What I'm expecting, at least, is that if you're going to take a story and spread it out over 12 episodes, I don't want the 12 episodes to be like an episode of Monkey, where they start off walking across a field and then by the end of it they're walking across a beach and something's happened. Nothing happens. In the whole of Scavenger's Reign, nothing actually happens. They go from one place to another, and I'm not going to spoil it because a couple of creatures attack and whatnot. But the thing is, for every episode of 20 to 25 minutes, one thing happens to one of the characters, or three of the characters, or a combination of the characters. And that adds up to about 2 to 5 minutes of the runtime. That means you've got 20 minutes of, ooh, look, here's a little slug climbing up a tree. Oh, here's another slug, which looks like two balls connected to a piece of slime that they fold over each other, and then another thing comes along and latches onto them, and they light up, and another one turns into puff pastry, and then another bit comes in, and a lightning bolt hits them, and then there's a steam thing, and everyone goes, "Oh, isn't it lovely and brilliantly animated?"
Right. Do you know what? I agree with you. There's a lot of style over substance on it.
There's content, but there's not story.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's what drew me in. It was
Same
the
here.
animation. It was the this is like the Beatles and the Yellow Submarine type thing, where it's just so off its face on LSD. It's having a good time, and I'm having a good time with it. And yeah, it was something that I'm just enjoy.
I'm not knocking anyone if they want to enjoy it. If they're watching it and they get more out of it than me, then more power to them. I've got no problems with that at all. I'm not having a go at you guys for recommending it to me because, it's basically
I don't know. I feel judged.
Well, well, you especially. You should have fucking known better. You know what I fucking like. Jesus Christ, no.
Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes we have to get out there and experience new things, and I like to think that maybe one day, Because, you know, as they say, even a
We'll
broken
find
clock
something
is
he
right.
likes.
Yeah, one day, by luck, by just pure,
Yeah.
just
Like-
the planets will align.
He'll come on here going, do you know what, guys? That was actually quite good. Like, yes,
Yeah.
we've done it.
Like Quantum Leap, we'll put right what once went wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If you want to sit there, that's fine, and watch those things, that's fine. I appreciated the imagination in it for one episode. By the time we got to the second episode, and I thought, "Where's this going?" and I realised it wasn't going anywhere. You were just going to get 5 minutes of characters walking along, having a bit of a conversation. Then you'd have 20 minutes of, look, here's a bird that squeezes its own brain into a jar of pickles. The pickles turn into steam. The steam turns into a diamond. The diamond glows. A fish comes along, flying through the air. It drops its penis into a dog. The dog explodes. 3 tentacles come out. It goes into the sky, and then the music goes, ding, 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 ding.
So what you're
And then
saying
it cuts
is,
to something else entirely, and you're like,
What you're saying is most of this is the animated sort of like equivalent of that game Mousetrap. Is that what
Yes.
you're saying?
Yes.
Is that it?
That's exactly it. It's
It wins the Mousetrap award.
But you know what I mean?
Is
If
it
you-
the boot? It's the boot. There's the boot. Okay, that kicks the thing that brings this down and does that. And
Exactly. But you know what I mean? You've seen Rick and Morty, Jim, ain't you?
Yeah,
Darren?
yes, yeah.
And you know,
Yeah.
like, there was that... It's a perfect example. There was that episode when he fell in love with that whole planet of people who were all one person, Unity.
yes, I've got the actual. I've got a Unity. Not an action figure, but I've got a small Unity statue.
And then he leaves her, doesn't he? Or
Yeah.
she leaves him. And he goes back to his garage, and the music's playing like a really sad song, and he's getting drunk, and he's trying to kill himself. And instead of just like killing himself, he gets a little tiny baby creature out of a jar, and he puts it into like some kind of device. The device zaps it, turns it into ash. He takes the ash, he puts it into a bowl of water or something. The water goes purple. He pours the purple water into another machine. It creates a diamond. He takes the diamond, he puts it into a machine, turns the machine on, zaps another creature, puts that into another machine, gets another diamond, puts it into another machine, puts his head between it, takes one drink, and then falls down drunk before the lasers blow his head off. That is the average. That is about 5 minutes of Rick and Morty. That is 88% of Scavenger's Reign with a bit of walking in it.
Yep.
That's the problem. I couldn't get that out of my head. I could look at it and go, that's pretty. I will have the art book of this. That looks nice. I don't mind a little animated tableau playing on my phone as a sort of screensaver. But 12 fucking episodes of it? No. Just no.
Well, obviously it doesn't work for you, does it? So, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, never recommend it to me again now. Get out of my house.
Never recommend anything to you ever again.
Ever.
No, don't fucking watch it. You'll hate it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't watch that Queen's speech at Christmas or King's speech. You'll
Well, I won't
fucking
watch the
hate it.
Queen's speech at Christmas.
That would be quite horrifying if there were a Queen's speech.
Hello, fellow humans.
Brains.
There is no Queen, only zoo.
Right. Anyway, right, there you go. So, let's leave it there. Yeah, before we get to the review and before we take a break, we got a little bit of feedback for Fallen, which we watched. We did done watch, and the feedback's coming mainly from the Facebook group this week, which is facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast. And we start off with Chris Johnson, who was wondering about your sofa, Darren, and he's just got he's just got a GIF going pivot.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, right.
Friends one.
Jeffrey Mark Hyman says, excellent discussion of Fallen. It's a pretty fun little thriller, but nothing spectacular. I hadn't thought about it in years until it was brought up in this episode.
Oh, right, okay.
There you go. While John Campion comes back with, I forgot to mention last week how much I enjoyed saying robot like Zoidberg out of Futurama when we were talking about the RoboCop rewatch. Robot. Yes. But but as far as Fallen's concerned, Denzel Washington was great, as he mostly always is. I kept expecting a possessed John Goodman to cry out, "I'll show you the life of the mind," which is, I think, from Barton Fink, if I'm not mistaken. Very much of its time, even the earth-toned formal shirts that inexplicably most of us thought were a good idea back then. And lastly, horror-adjacent police procedurals certainly had their moment, such as Angel Heart, Seven, and this. Also, Gandolfini, his tash, Saints preserve us. That was a magnificent tash. So there you go. Yeah, not a lot else about the Fallen. Yeah, there you go. Did you actually see it, Jim? By the way,
I didn't revisit it as a.
No, don't blame you.
But I have seen it before.
Yeah, fair enough. No, that's fair enough. Cool. Right, but anyway, as ever, now that we're back, baby. If you want to send any feedback in, especially for Rebel Moon, then do by all means send it in to the email address, which is feedback@blackdogpodcast.com, or go on the Facebook group and leave us a little comment underneath our episode, which will be up soon enough, I'm sure. Well, if you're listening to this, it must be. Right. It's time now for us to take a break, take a breather, take a Kit Kat, whatever. A shower and a shave, because let's just prepare ourselves as we head off to Zack Snyder's Button Moon. Roll a jingle.
Off the Button Moon, we follow Mr. Spoon. Button Moon, Button Moon, we're off the Button Moon.
There's Button Moon, shining very brightly in blanket sky.
Right, so Rebel Moon. Now, for 2024, as a test, I'm doing this. We thought, or rather I thought, and the rest of the guys are kind of still mulling it over, so I'm going first. We thought it'd be quite fun if, instead of droning on about the wiki and doing all that stuff, we'll just see how much of the film the person who picked the film understands and remembers about the film by doing a précis of the film without looking at wiki. Seeing as it was me and I picked Rebel Moon, I'm going first, so no wiki, hands free, tightrope walking. We'll see how it goes. So, hold on. Rebel Moon is a film. It's long. It's directed by Zack Snyder, and it stars that geezer from Guardians of the Galaxy who goes, "Who?" And he was also in Gladiator. He was quite good in Gladiator. It has Sophia Boutella. I do know her name because she's the only one I remember from the film. And also swarthy geezer with lanky hair, woman with big hat and lightsaber, Francis from Deadpool, and some other dudes. The story...
Charlie Hunnam.
Oh, Charlie Hunnam. I forgot about Charlie Hunnam. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who does as much for accents in the film industry as Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
So
his international relations with Ireland is now in doubt. The story revolves around a farmer who may not be a farmer who decides to go raise an army of 6 to fight against the evil empire. I mean, sorry, the Mother World, or is it the Mother Lode, or is it the Mother Planet? Motherfucker.
Mother World.
Oh, that's it. The motherfuckers.
Motherfuckers.
which is run by the Games Workshop Imperium of Man. And
Not to be confused with the Brotherhood of Man.
not to be confused with the Brotherhood Man. 2 hours and 40 minutes
for me.
passes.
Save all your kisses for me. Bye bye, baby. Bye bye.
Yeah, so Francis from Deadpool wants some grain from farmers. The head farmer is played by MODOK. the
Yeah,
geezer
he's
who
got
plays
a new
MODOK.
bread maker. That's why.
Yeah, he's got a bread maker. That's
He's
it.
got a
If you
bread
want-
maker. He's come for some bread, some
That's
stuff
it.
to make bread.
And
Sorry, I'm helping you out with the
hold
plot.
on,
I should
the
shut up.
jingle's almost over. I've got to finish. And so she goes off to do the Magnificent Seven thing via Star Wars.
But
Did
it's
we
only
mention
6.
Star Wars?
But it's only 6.
Yes. And it's
Slightly
a
less
hippogriff.
impressive 6. Yeah.
Right. That about covers it. See? There you go. I don't see what the problem is. Guys, I think you'll be able to do this.
Okay.
It's fully informative. As informative as if I was reading the wiki. So how do we feel about that section?
I think that's a goer.
I
Cool.
think it is.
We need a proper jingle.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
get
a
right
pro-
on that.
Get a proper jingle. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
The picker plot it. The picker plots it. Anyway, it doesn't matter how much he earned because it was on Netflix. So streaming, whatever. Yeah, it's 2 hours and 77,000 minutes. And that's about it. So let's go round the table. Oh, do you want to do how much you reckon it made? Go on. I'm sure you've all thought about it.
Format.
Go on, format. We'll stick with the format. How much do you reckon it made, Darren?
I think it made 400 bags of grain and 2 hours and 20 minutes of cliche.
Nice. Okay. Elton, how much do you reckon it made? Motherfucker. Yeah. Do you want to know where to go to find Nemo? Is that what you asking some whales?
What's that, Elton? Timmy's trapped down a well?
32 Wallaby Way Road, P. Sherman, 32 Wallaby Way, Sydney. Right, okay. Jim, what do you think?
I think it made one space daisy chain that was later forgotten.
Yes, yes. Oh, I forget. Speaking of which, I forgot Anthony Hopkins is in this as well.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in it.
That's one heck of a conservatory he's building there. It really is. Isn't it?
It's like fucking
Fuck
Alexandra Palace.
It's Anthony Hopkins Rebel Conservatory.
So, yeah, Rebel Wing. No, well, actually, you're all wrong because what it made was
Absolutely
everybody's time.
yeah, what it made was it made us very cross. No. Anyway, right, okay, so let's go around the table, find out quickly and briefly what we thought of it before we get into discussing it in an even-handed fashion. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I know that the podcast doesn't get as many listeners as it once did, but I can guarantee you that the title of this podcast will lure in more listeners than we've had in a long while, because they always bloody do.
Yep.
So, even-handedly, fuck it. What did you think of Rebel Moon, Jim?
I quite liked it up to a point.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that point was pressing play. No, that's my slightly flippant version. No, I tried to give this a fair go. It was Saturday, Friday night. I may have had a few ales.
Yeah.
I put on my I'm going to watch a rubbish movie because it's Friday night goggles.
Mm-hmm.
And I held its hand. I tried to keep up with it, but at a certain point, I fell off the ride. And unfortunately, that was fairly early on, as I'll get to in the main review.
Right. Okay. Elton.
Well, I was going to go into this pretending I adored it.
Mm.
I can't do that. I really can't do that.
Mm.
I am much like you, Jim. I gave this every chance that it could have taken.
Mm.
And yet I found myself saying to myself, this is just bollocks. Quite a lot as well. And I gave it so much leeway as well. I was well up for finding something, and something I do want to discuss with you guys as well, about when you can't make the thing that you want to make and then you create your own thing, then you know, is this what we always get? So I really struggled with this, and I watched it. I forget when I watched it. It was definitely, it's the best film I've seen this year. Let's put it like that.
How many films have you seen?
Bloody hell,
this
what
year?
else have you been watching?
I've only seen one film this year, though.
Thank Christ for that. Bloody hell.
Wow. Oh.
There we go. Try and finish on a positive.
Okay, fair enough. Darren.
What can I say? Like everyone else, I was prepared to go against the grain against all three of you and say, like, you know, if it had been good, if I'd enjoyed it in some small way, then I was prepared to stand here and go, I actually didn't mind it. I actually thought it was all right. I was prepared to go, I really enjoyed that, if I really enjoyed it, right? So I thought, come on, we kind of take the piss out of Zach a lot, but I'm going.
I'm sure
to
he's
give this a go.
heartbroken.
I'm sure he is. But this film has got problems. A lot of problems. A lot of problems. It's everything. One part of it. One part of this is everything I hate about boring writing. The same old shit, where it's written, and I will explain myself, where it's written by a white bloke. That's what I'm going to say, right?
Right.
White and bloke. Right? There's a certain kind of television that gets my fucking goat, and it's the same every single fucking time, right? There are lots of... We've evolved now past this. There is no excuse for this kind of fucking writing anymore, right? Where if you're a white bloke and you're a character in this, you can be as quippy and as funny as you like, right? You get a choice of any kind of personality you like, right? But if you're black or you're a woman, if you're a warrior, you have to talk like this all the time, every single time. And if you don't believe me, watch this fucking film again.
No.
Look at the main character, right? And then look at the two heads of the Rebel Alliance. Fuck that, I'm just calling it Rebel Alliance. Look at the two that turn up, the brother and sister. They acted exactly like the woman that came to find them. Both of them.
Right.
Right? They always have to be noble and stuff and talk like this. Yes, they don't have to be Tony fucking Stark, but I mean, you got Charlie Hunnam's character, right? Who's a bit like, hey, I'm a bit cheeky. Look, I'm a bit of a mercenary. Yeah, everyone else that's not this is the thing I hate. It's like that kind of fun personality type thing, right? Bit of a cheeky is only assigned to one type of fucking person, and every other fucking warrior, right, who's not like standard white bloke, is I mean, look at fucking it's like Stargate SG-1. What was Tilk? Look at that character. I am a warrior. Yes, I have lots of honor. Same thing in this. Same thing. Spoke exactly the same way. It's like, come on, dudes.
Right.
Let's just, give anybody that personality. Let's do that, shall we?
But how about the actual film?
The film, it's just full of cliche bollocks.
Right.
It's just cliche bollocks tied together with cliche bollocks string.
Right.
That's basically it, right? Okay, it's someone, employs bloke who was in fucking Deadpool to play the same character that he plays every time he's a fucking bad guy in every single fucking movie that he's ever in.
Yeah,
right?
well, he looks like he's sucking a gumball.
Yeah, and he gives that sort of, that sort of, I'm going to make a cheeky statement and then I'm going to hit you in the face with a stick. Or I'm going to shoot you in the face with a stick. With a stick, yeah. Because you can do that. In this film you can. But, yeah, it's like somebody took Star Wars, cut it up, put it through a shredder, and then tried to reassemble it. That's what it is.
So you're not impressed then? I'll put you
I'm
down
not
as a
impressed.
maybe.
No. What do? They go to a bar, right, where they start a fight, right? It's a bit of violence in a bar where they pick up a mercenary who, because they need a ship to get somewhere, right? They need to get to, they need to take two blokes, two druids to Aldershot, and no questions asked, right? Okay? It's that fucking Dead Ringers sketch with John Coleshaw. Where he's,
Right.
Yeah. So it's just shit.
Right. Okay.
Fucking shit.
Yeah.
It's shit.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll be a bit fair to it. It's cliched shit.
Okay. I'm glad we were having the quick round table bit before we started
Yeah,
doing
sorry
the
about that.
discussion. That's
Sorry,
okay.
I couldn't help it.
That's okay.
I couldn't
That's
help it.
okay.
I've got a lot. It's overflowing here.
I was going to say, I think the scabs come off and it's just popped the cork.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. I got all kind of.
No, it's
thing there.
fine. It's
I got,
fine.
yeah, no,
You're
I went.
you're
I went under. I'm sorry. I went under.
The mist. The mist.
Yeah.
Well, for my money, I quite liked it.
Oh, it's a good job
Go
you're
on,
not within
go on.
glassing distance. It really is.
Keep
In the
playing
eyes.
that card. I dare you.
I thought the mise en scène was quite nice. I thought the lighting and the cinematography was absolutely on point. I thought the originality of the characters, especially the fact that there was one called Nemesis, because she was a bad person, but she was actually good. So she was an angel of vengeance. You could see where the real mythic writing was coming into this.
Jedi Master Nemesis. Yes, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. She was great. And you know what her personality was? She had a hat.
Yes, and she talked like this because she's a warrior. And
Yes.
she has a dark past or something. Because apparently to become a warrior, you have to have your personality removed.
Yes.
Uh,
But, on the other hand, after I came out of my coma, I found that this film was derivative, boring, stupid, reductive in every conceivable way. It purloined from everything from Seven Samurai, Battle Beyond the Stars, obviously because it's Seven Samurai, Warhammer, How to Train Your Dragon, Harry Potter, Star Wars. Star Wars, did I mention Star Wars? Star Wars.
Love
again.
Actually.
Love
Let's not
Actually,
forget that.
yeah.
Love Actually.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
And of all the Star Wars, ironic
Party political broadcast as well.
by the Green Party, yeah.
What's that film? Thomas the Tank Engine as Sodor Island. That one.
That's it. Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Thomas and the Magic Railway.
That's it. Thomas the Magic Railway. That one.
That's
right.
it. And also of all the Star Wars movies it nicked from.
Never Been Kissed with Drew Barrymore. That and all.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Wedding singer.
Yeah.
He'd even had a cat with Bobby Boucher.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Rod, fucking Rod. Yeah. But it also stole from two Star Wars films, not just one Star Wars film, not just Star Wars. It stole from another one. Do you know which other one it stole from?
All
Battle
of
Beyond
them.
the Stars.
No. It stole wholesale an entire plot line from
Death
the
Race 2000.
No, from the Phantom Menace.
Really?
Yes. and I shall get to that when we get into our
Oh.
discussion.
Colour me intrigued.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'll tell you what. I'll beat you to it now because we're going to get into the chat because we're going to just start talking about it now. The slaver with the swarthy geezer with the lanky hair,
Right.
right?
Oh, okay.
They turn up. They turn up.
Watto.
Yeah, they turn
Yes,
up.
yeah,
Slaver.
yes. Mm.
But I like credits. I like.
Ah.
the-
Is that your honey?
Is that your honey? Yeah, yes. I will. Yes, we gamble. If I win, if you win, you take the boy. If you lose, I take your ship, and you will work for me, and all this sort of thing. It's like, hold on. So you just lifted the whole Watto Tatooine thing wholesale off of Phantom Menace. I mean, if you're going to nick from Star Wars, fine, nick from Star Wars, but don't nick from fucking Phantom Menace. Jesus, how low do you get?
Did he get turned down by Disney? What happened?
did.
Because
He got
because he
refused.
was scheduled to do a Star Wars movie. Yes.
No,
I didn't want him.
No, yeah, he wasn't scheduled to do Star Wars movie. The rumor has
okay.
it, and again, I'm not looking at Wikipedia because I shut the fucking thing down because, hey, guess what? I was trying to do that. I'm trying to remember the plot thing. We're into spoilers, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to. You don't care. You've either seen it and you've made your own mind up, or you've heard our 5 minutes and you've made your mind up, and you're not listening to this anyway. So, yeah, basically. He had a script he wanted to make into a Star Wars movie, and he took that script to Disney Lucasfilm, and they turned him down.
Right. Okay.
That's the rumor goes. Then he tried to tout this thing around and get it made. Unfortunately, again, this is only rumor. I have no confirming proof, but the general consensus goes he touted it around various other studios. The whole Warner Brothers DC debacle may have tainted the amount of goodwill he had, and eventually he ended up going to Netflix, and they said, yes, make 2 films, here's 160 million quid, off you go. And there you are. That is it. That is the plot. That is the plot behind the plot, as I understand it. Right. So overall, I don't think we're very favourable to this, are we? This movie.
What makes you say that?
I don't
no,
know.
this is lazy.
What do you mean it's lazy? You want us our review? Because I can
No,
make it a lot
this-
lazier. I can just stop it here. I can go to bed.
This film, it's just pure laziness.
Mm.
I think he wanted to make a film where, when we watch Blade Runner
Mm-hmm.
or films of that ilk that we passionately love,
Mm.
and you can say, you can take a screenshot and go, oh, well, that could be my wallpaper for the next week.
Mm.
Or I'd like that on a wall somewhere. Every single shot is just pure magic.
Mm.
And he had it in his head. Do you know, I have this crappy story that I swear I've heard from somewhere, but nobody will recognise that. That'll be fine. Don't worry about that. They won't recognise that. They're stupid, these people that go watch movies. They just lap it up.
Mm.
And he had that, and he went, oh, well, I also want to make it really pretty and shoot it from wonderful angles, and it'll be beautiful and lots of bits flowing up all over the place, and you can take a screenshot and wow, it'll look wicked.
Mm.
And that was the premise going into actually making this.
Mm.
Not
Brief, man.
not an actual proper solid story.
Mm.
And I went into this hoping to get something, because there's been many, many times when we've watched sequel after sequel after sequel of films from a film that we love, like the Alien franchise, like the Star Wars franchise, like the Marvel franchise, whatever franchise that we adore. It always starts somewhere, and that's where we love it from, and it slowly gets watered down.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we turn around and say, this would be great if it was a TV show, or if it had your own idea and go with it somewhere else.
Mm.
And this proves that some people have the guts to take that somewhere else, but don't have the resources or the actual thought process to pull it off.
Hmm.
And it's frustrating because you could do anything. He wants to make his own Star Wars movie. Brilliant. Show me what you want to make. And yet you try to make it like Star Wars.
Yeah.
I think he was more leaning to remaking Battle Beyond the Stars. Whether he got confused, I'm not sure. But I think the thing with me is kind of this is kind of the worst kind of filmmaking that annoys me because he had the money,
Yes.
he had the resources, and what he cheaped out on is the cheap bit, the bit that's the cheapest of all. Having a good story, writing a good script, which only costs you time and finding a person to do it. But the script in this was just bloody awful.
Yeah.
I mean, just really just bits bolted on here and there. And a word that came up in our ongoing discussion of the movie as we were watching it was functional.
Functional.
Functional dialogue is kind of, I need to say something to get the next bit to happen.
Yeah. I
And I get the impression he thinks kind of, well, all stories have been told before. There's only 6 stories new and all that crap. And he thinks, well, if I tell it with panache and style, that'll work. And surely it doesn't, though.
No.
You still need to retell that story in a way that's competent and engaging,
Yeah.
which it doesn't. I mean, I was on board with it. At the start, it was kind of, okay, blah, blah, blah. When the first show, I thought, oh, God, it's Tatooine. And I was quite pleased. I always saw this sort of Amish Vikings in space. Okay, that's okay, that's interesting. And it's kind of the idea of sort of playing with the idea. I get the impression you're going for kind of like a ancient Europe in space. So you take, the little farms, the Gauls, the empires, the Romans. Okay, you've got something to work with there. That's interesting. There's a lot to play with there, visually, thematically, But by the time we got to the Taming of the Space Griffin, I'd well and truly dropped off this movie.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think it was before the Space Griffin when I knew something was up. Right? Okay.
When the titles came up?
No, it was just after the titles, actually, when you had the big phallic ship flying through the giant space vagina.
Oh,
God.
And it's
First
like,
scene.
oh, for fuck's sake, Zach.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. He's not been subtle about that before. You remember the pods from fucking Man of Steel, which were all big flying dongs?
Yep, indeed. And he has the Harvest Festival? They're all like, yes, everybody, get up and start fucking tonight. For
Yes.
the gods.
It's the Festival of Love. We're all
Yes.
pagan. We're all space pagans. Woohoo!
We are. Woo.
Yeah. See, the problem I have, the problem I have with Zack Snyder movies is.
Oh, don't forget the tentacle love as well. Sorry.
Oh God, no! Don't forget the tentacle love. But the problem don't forget the tentacle love. Oh, thanks! I nearly went out without my keys.
Shit. Yes, thank you.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Thanks. I nearly forgot that. No. Don't forget your tentacle love. All right. Thanks. Thanks, Mum. Anyway, the thing I always find with Zack Snyder, right, before I get to Rebel Moon, is I find him a deeply, deeply frustrating director because Dawn of the Dead, I think it's safe to say, was a fairly good remake.
I think so. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. And in terms of like 300 was like a proper visceral, it was a full-on comic book movie, visceral, over the top mentalness, but matched the comic fine. Watchmen, same deal. It wasn't 100%. Purists may still sit there and go, it's not quite this, it's not quite that. It misses certain things out. The black pirate thing. But for a comic which was supposedly completely unfilmable, I think it did a fairly good job of acquitting itself.
Yeah,
Whether or not you liked it or not is neither here nor there. But for me, that kind of worked. So when you get things like Sucker Punch, when you get things like Man of Steel, when you get things like the DC films afterwards and that sort of thing, I become frustrated because the thing is, it's like Ridley Scott. I was saying this to Russ Whitfield, who was giving me a bit of a haranguing on on Facebook. But it's like you get a director who gets a cult around them, and they get this thing where there's people who tell them they cannot do wrong. George Lucas, Ridley Scott, that sort of thing. And when they're 100% across the board, the thing turns to absolute shit every time, without a doubt. You go Alien, written by someone else, produced by someone else, directed by Ridley Scott, cinematography by Ridley Scott, lovely. Prometheus, the story is Ridley Scott. He gave it to Damon Lindelof and said, make this.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get that's your difference. A director is not a writer any more than he's an editor. Otherwise, it'd just be one bloke and a camera. And, and then you got sort of, like I say, like George Lucas, when he made Star Wars, but he was fighting the studios. He had different producers. He had money men on his back. Empire Strikes Back, the same deal. He had Irving Kershner to direct it. He was the producer. Return of the Jedi. Richard Markman was directing, but he was the writer. When work gets split up, then that's when the work is as good as it can be, because you're focusing on one job. Zack Snyder, for all of his faults, and he does have a lot, and we will go through it when I get into the film.
We've got a list.
But the thing is,
it's a scroll. That's what it is. It's not a list.
Yeah. What he is not, 100%, wherever else he is, he's got an eye for visuals, he's got an eye for colour, he's got, an eye for action. He's also got a heavy thumb for the fucking slow-mo button, but we'll get to that. What he is definitely not, though, is a fucking writer. At all. He cannot write for shit. And the problem is that, like fucking Christopher Nolan when he gets hold of Tenet, or, instead of leaving it to his brother to do the writing, you get a director who gets this cult around them. People tell them they can do no wrong. They write a story, and everyone goes, amazing, you should direct it. And they go, yes, I should. And then... And Zack Snyder's the absolute pinnacle of that. He wrote this thing, and it's just bollocks. Because I tell you what, the thing that sums it up more than anything, for me anyway, is we go through the entire film. Yeah? We do 2 hours 40 and change. We get to the last 10 minutes. Right? We get to the very last 10 minutes. Now, bearing in mind, we've done 2 hours and 30 minutes. At this point, the heroes have been caught. They have been trapped, and they are on a platform on Camino. Some other planet which is rainy and dark.
And cheap to film because all you can see is rain and clouds in the background.
Exactly. Rain, clouds, and a nebulous black shape, which may be a spaceship or something.
Or it could be a trainer.
It could be. It could be a shoe with a little red on it.
Or a potato.
Yeah, exactly. And very nice, Jim. Actually, I like that. Yeah, Empire Strikes Back. I get it. And then yeah, exactly. And then what you do is you get Captain Nazi. Right, rock up. He rocks up between all of the trapped characters and walks between them all. And he says, and I quote, "Nemesis, you cut off your own arms to create yourself robot arms so that you could take revenge on the Imperials who killed your children. That's been your revenge all along." And then he walks to the next person. He goes, Prince Nassim, it's been a while since I've seen you. A classic animal talker and stalker beastmaster. And it's like, what are you doing out here? And then he goes to the next one. He goes, General Goobaloo, or whatever his fucking name is.
General Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, General.
How are the kids? Say hi to your mother for me.
Yeah, say hi
Hey,
to your mother.
how's that going for you, man? How's it
Exactly.
doing? So you're a captain of a ship. How's that doing, man?
Yeah, but what he does is he actually gives us a name of a character and their actual plot points, none of which we've had in the rest of the film. Did any of you know that Swarthy Beastmaster Hippogriff Wrangler was a prince?
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air himself.
No,
No?
It's a bell end.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
What you get when you order the rock from Timo.
Exactly. When you order the Scorpion King on fucking Tubi. And that was the thing. As soon as it got to that bit, I think, well, there's your key right there. Someone has written down a little paragraph for each one of the characters and then realised after writing 2 hours and 20 minutes of script and gone, shit, nobody actually knows their names. And has the bad guy literally named them as he walks along between them all.
And tell us what they actually are good at, because the film
Yes.
hasn't.
Exactly.
I mean, they've all just basically just stood around and done nothing for the rest
Yes.
of the film.
Exactly.
Come and join our band. What do I have to do? Nout. All right, then.
Yeah.
It's a good dust,
Just
isn't it?
Stand over there and find yourself a
This
space.
woman's fighting a big spider demon. Shall we pitch in and help her and form a bond? And let her get on with it, silly
No.
cow.
Let's just cut to them. Let's just cut to them all looking in wonder at her amazing skills as she stands there waving not lightsabers. I mean that's the problem straight away. It hit me. I was like, actually, I did not know she was called Nemesis, and I didn't know her arms were actually robot arms.
No.
And I didn't know she cut them off to power those lightsabers to make herself the best swordswoman in all the universe, so she could wreak revenge on the Empire.
Let's be
the
honest,
Motherworld.
it would just be a flashback, though, wouldn't it?
But the
That's
point
how
was,
we'd do it.
She's
It'd be
got the
like,
name for the pub she's going to open up when she retires, anyway.
the robot
What
arms.
am I going to call it?
time, gentlemen, please.
Yes. Wow, wow.
What
Oh, sorry.
drink
Can't do
would
this.
you like?
You do not.
Bacardi
do
and
not
Coke.
I'm just going to change the barrel.
yes. This one's a bit
Snake
flat.
bite and black.
Yeah, The only problem is she goes down into the basement and her hat gets stuck in the door. Give me a second. The hat, the collars and the cuffs, and the cap hat kind of goes.
Hello, can somebody let me down, please? I'm stuck.
My hat is trapped in the dumbwaiter. Please help me. So, but that was it. It was like
We're doing a special on pork scratchings, 2 for 1.
Look,
Yes.
I can balance things on top of my head. Quick, somebody call Norris McGuirter.
If you look in the middle of my hat, you can see that there is some guacamole dip. Around the edges are some tacos. Please help yourself as I pass by. I mean, and that was the problem. It was like, yeah, as you say, Jim, everyone just stands around looking at the character doing their bit.
Yep.
And then it just kind of, then they move on. And you realise that the middle hour of that film is them just going to a place, walking up to a character, then the character going, "Son of a bitch, I'm in," and then going to another planet.
Well,
You've got to say that in the voice of Matt Berry, though.
Yeah.
Lee, right?
You son of a bitch, I'm
in.
in. I'm in, you son of a bitch.
this is what I noticed on this film, where you go up to a character, they do a thing, it's their thing that they do, and then they join, and then you move along to the next one. Like, as you say, the lady fighting the big spider, you're like, well, guys, there's a perfect opportunity to do a bit of teamwork and do stuff, but no, you all stand back and no, this is her turn. Let her do her thing, and we get through this.
You know what? That whole spider fighting scene, I'd rewrite that. I'd have it so somebody, when she lights up the the actual sword, somebody goes, whoa, hold on. Right, so let me get this straight, right? You've been struggling with the big knives there, right? And they can do that.
Yes.
And you didn't think to activate them at the beginning of the fight.
No.
Because you'd probably be finished by now.
It's the rule of cool, my friend.
Rule of cool.
Yeah, well,
Oh, was that like walking away and not looking at an explosion?
Exactly.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, well, I stand corrected.
It's the Roger Rabbit. I could only do it when it was funny.
I could only do it when it was cool.
Exactly. The rule of cool. But
there were certain things through this film that were, I don't know if telegraphed, but you kind of knew that they were coming. With
Telegraph, they practically arrived on horseback with a bunch of trombones.
Sorry.
Yeah,
They
go on, carry
goes
on.
over to the Hubble telescope and went, look,
Just
there
there.
you go.
You knew a double cross was coming along.
Yeah.
That was always going to happen. You knew people get trapped, and they're going to get out of this, and it's going to be a crappy old way they get out. You're going to have space Nazis, and it's like, oh god, look, we know they're the bad guys. Do they always have to be Nazis though? Does it always have to be this?
But in fairness, I
Apparently
think
so.
there was touches where he was trying to go for the Roman Empire in some scenes with the designs. In others, had a strong that kind of Death of Stalin, the big green greatcoats.
Yeah.
But in terms of character, no, it's just space Nazis again, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Space Stalinists, I mean, it's only next door to Nazis, but that would have been enough of a change to be interesting.
Yeah.
You say about Empire, it's about this huge collective. And
Yeah.
so it's all tantalising bits that, I say, if this had been given to a proper writer, he could have built this up and done world building, rather than just put stuff here. Like, like that kind you see websites or designs, on web building things. It's all that's that Latin text that makes nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like, put text here.
Yeah.
It's like, put cool bit here, put backstory here. And it's like it got made like that. Kind of like, I mean, it's kind of, I remember hearing, it was Galen Hurd talking about Jim Cameron saying his first scripts are bloody awful. He what he calls trucker scripts. It's just this happens, that happens. It's all just in the boldest possible turns. But then he hands it over and somebody else works on it and makes it into the real thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It isn't just fight scene happens. It's
it's
integrated. That didn't happen here.
No.
There's nothing wrong with having a bad script that you work on, though.
Yeah.
Absolutely
No, not at all.
not.
I mean, the first law of writing, according to Stephen King, is you are free to write the worst piece of crap imaginable in your first draft.
Yeah.
You've got to write it and get it finished.
Mm.
Then you can work on it, but you've got to have something to work on. You know what I mean? You've got to refine it. And,
Yeah, it's something you can punch up. Yeah.
Yeah. But you need to get something down and give yourself a foundation to build on. And it doesn't matter if it's rough as old boots and nonsense. But you can work with that. And like say it is true he wanted to make a Star Wars film, he couldn't. Well, that has happened before in the past.
Yeah.
RoboCop, apparently, they wanted to make a Judge Dredd film.
That's
Couldn't
right.
get the rights.
No.
But instead, we got a very good sci-fi story in its own right. You can see the connective tissue to Judge Dredd, but it stands on its own. It's become its own thing. Original Max, similar deal. And, there's lots of stories in the history of Hollywood where people wanted... I mean, there's a rumor George Lucas wanted to do Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
Couldn't, so we got Star Wars.
That's it.
And that... Here, I feel it's like so not like a work print. It's like watching a previs for the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean,
A very, very expensive storyboard for a pitch meeting.
Oh, it's a pitch meeting, is it? So you got a Zack Snyder movie for me? I
Yes,
sure
you
do.
Yeah, yeah. I to be quite honest, I'm really glad we're doing this podcast because I want to get that out of the way, get this out
So
of the
do
way, so
I.
I can watch the script
I'm
meetings for this.
so looking forward to
I
seeing
can't
it.
wait for it. But I haven't watched it deliberately because I knew if I said anything that he said, it would be like, oh, he's just ripping off him.
What's the betting? He's going to say, and then they have to go out and find some soldiers to help protect the farmers. Isn't it going to be hard? Well, no, actually, it was super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really? No, I would guess that was about the escape after they've been trapped and double crossed.
Yes.
But yes, yeah, they were trapped by Lord Farquaad, and they're going to be killed
by Sir Flatley of Riverdance. Oh, Bigora, I'm a bit of a rogue and Irish, can't you tell? Like,
yeah.
Well, hello there. So, where's my Lucky Charms?
Oh no, I'm Han Solo McSheamus Solenson. It's just like Jesus H. Christ.
Diddly, 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 diddly.
Yeah. I'm just going to put on my shamrock hat and I'm going to jig all the way down the shillelagh on my spaceship.
I'm off with me pig under my arm.
My spaceship's called the Pot of Gold, so it is. It's just like, fuck.
Where's
off.
the crack? Arr.
But the problem is that as you say, as soon as you get into the sort of homages, and let's be honest, films have ripped off other films. Since time immemorial, it happens. The problem is when you don't rip it off very well, and it stops being like I ripped the idea off, and turns into I went through the script and just went Control F, find this name, and Control J and replace this name, and the cantina scene is a perfect example of that, because what actually happens in that cantina scene? He walks in, they walk in, Sophia Botella and
He doesn't like you.
Exactly.
Sorry, no, wrong
I don't like him
film.
either.
Yeah, you better
He
watch yourself.
smells.
Hands up, everyone started doing that scene. As soon as that started happening,
Exactly.
I've got a death sentence on 6-star systems.
You better watch yourself. I will be careful. You'll be dead. Come on, this one's not worth the trouble. Come, let me buy you something. And in both cases, they lose a fucking arm.
Yes.
I know. Shameless.
Yeah,
Shameless.
and that's the problem. There's a difference between homage and literally photocopying someone's homework and Tipexing over the names.
This isn't so much homage, more fromage. That's what that is.
Yeah. So, yeah, that ultimately is the problem all the way through this movie. Is you can't enjoy a film that rips things off if you're only seeing the thing it's ripping off. I mean, Battle Beyond the Stars. That's the good go-to. It's the Seven Samurai. It's in space, right? Fine, but there's so much mad extra cobblers going on. You're sitting there going, "Hold on, Sybil Danning's a Valkyrie with big tits flying in a spaceship. What? There's 3 guys covered in flour who all eat at the same time. What the fuck is going on here?"
Hold
That's
on,
the thing,
Sybil
you get to
Danning
meet-
dresses a Valkyrie.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
The bloke
Howling
dresses-
2, mate. That's the one you want to see. Trust
Yeah,
me.
Howling 2, yeah. Definitely,
Anyhow, but the thing is, Battle Beyond the Stars, every person John Boy Walton in Space Ghost recruit, they've got their own motives, their own backstory, and as we go and meet them, we have a little adventure with them, and we get to know that backstory. Here it's kind of, there's robot arms spider killer. All right. Sign up. Yep. And then don't tell you anything. You learn nothing. And to spend that long trying to get the gang together. The last few, you come in. All right then. You come in. Yeah.
What's in it
Who
for
are
me? A
these people?
sandwich. Yeah.
Yeah. None of them even look for.
Do I get a bag of crisps? I'm in.
Son of a bitch, I'm in. Yeah, but no, the thing is, I mean, the again, it's the same thing. It's that Nemesis girl. They rock up and literally you see her. They literally land on the planet and she's right there. They don't go looking for her. She goes, walks down some stairs. She fights a spider. She leaves, and that's the end of it. It's like, what? And part of the thing, like looking at something like I tell you what, another one, Bug's Life. right?
Right.
Pixar's Bug's Life. That's the Seven Samurai as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, the thing is, what Seven Samurai does, what Bug's Life does, what Magnificent Seven does, and what Battle Beyond the Stars does, and in fact Willow, which is also another Seven Samurai, is that the main character encounters each different, shall we say, swordsman individually, and has an individual fight adventure with those characters, as you say, Jim. But there's none of the other group around. The group all assemble at the final fight. So like for Battle and Beyond the Stars, John Boy Walton rocks up, finds the three geezers in the tunics with the eyes in the middle of their head.
The Slaphead Collective.
Exactly, yeah. The early doors Blue Man group before the blue paint came out, but finds them, saves one of them, and then intrigues them enough that they want to come on board. There's none of the other ships floating about, and then he has to introduce them, and they have to come together and work together. The remake of Seven Samurai Magnificent Seven with Denzel Washington and Chris Pratt and all that, the same thing. He finds them all individually, and then there's a whole sort of montage of them having to work together because they don't actually know each other. He's just said, go to this town, I'll meet you there. In this one, she's actually dragging them along. So one becomes two becomes four become, and that is a problem because if they're all standing around and they're all in a spaceship, on one spaceship going between different planets, why aren't they talking to each other? Why do we get no scene at all of any of them talking to each other in the 2.5 hour runtime? Not once. Not once does one character in that group look at another one and go anything other than quip. None of them go, I lived a long life as a soldier, and I lived here, and I did this, and I give you a bit of backstory. They're just.
What's your favourite sweet?
Yeah, exactly. Do you like?
It's like
prawn?
wagon wheels have got smaller, haven't they?
Yeah. I haven't. Yeah, it's like you can imagine, can't you? It's just everyone. There's just like 3 hours of flying in the spaceship.
Yep.
You don't see white dog poo anymore, do you?
Nah.
Oreos haven't really changed their design. Well, you're wrong, because they have, right? I've noticed this, that, like, some Oreos, right, kind of, sort of, if you pardon the expression, dressed to the left, and other ones dressed to the right. If you don't know what I mean, I've got a funny story about that, actually. Well, I went to that.
Sound of the airlock opening in the background. I went to the shops and I went...
I went to a library in Bude, and as while I was there, I met a man who collects bus tickets, and he told me about look out for the Oreos that dress to the left and dress to the right. And I can't really describe it to you. You have to see it yourself. In fact, I happen to have 2 packets of Oreos here. Why don't we go through them?
We've arrived on Planet Evil. Oh. Yeah.
Carrying on with the whole Wish.com sort of feel for this. It's even Magnificent Seven done by Wish.com because a bit's missing when you get it through the post.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
right?
the seventh.
Exactly.
Hold on, they're supposed to be 7 and I only got 6.
But you see, everyone says that, but you know what?
Anthony Hopkins.
Yes. Random robot who ran off and he won't do fighting and stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about that bit as well, shall we? Okay, let's talk about this, right? Okay. So, it gets to the end of the film. They're about to wrap up, and somebody went, do you know what? We've forgotten something. I'm sure.
We've forgotten the old man, haven't we?
We've forgotten the entire plot of this film. We've not explained it to anyone. Right, okay. What are we going to do? I'll tell you what. How much has Hopkins got left on the meter? We've got about 25 quid. We've got 25 quid left on Hopkins' meter. What are you thinking? Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we get him to do a voiceover? Is that 25 quid's worth? Can we just about get that in? If we cut out some of the important shit from what he's got to say, and just how about we have him just say every other word in that? Yeah, there we go, in the world building. So get him to say and that saved us some money. Right, we haven't got to put any more money in the meter. It's a bit like, you know, when you go to a petrol station and you're filling your car with petrol and you're trying to get it on the £10. Right, it's just this is it, and that's what they did with Hopkins. You see, right? Because they don't want to go over the 28 quid mark that they had left and go for 28.01 or go for 27.99. They just want to get exactly 28.
Yeah,
and so they're standing there just feeding in words. Like those fridge magnets you get with the words on, they keep adding more of those to a fridge, and they've got him reading it off a fridge. That's what they've got it, and I don't know where I came up with that. I, as you say, too much sugar. Probably.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. I mean, the moment you know Anthony Hopkins' money runs out is the bit when the robot shoots the guy, seemingly accidentally, then just drops the gun and he just runs off, and it's like, and then Anthony Hopkins' contract for this film expired.
Can I just say as well, those weapons those soldiers were using, pretty fucking useless. Because you can literally shoot someone under the chin at point blank range, and all it just flashes a light at them. Because there's no head coming off of any shoulders or anything. And they're knives. What about them? It's like no blood or anything. Fucking rubbish. What are they, cosplay? Oh, it's cosplay swords. Oh, you use the cosplay swords. Oh, the wrong fucking delivery.
Yeah. The problem with all of it, again, comes down to rule of cool. If it looks cool, it doesn't have to make fucking sense. Like those fucking stupid things that unlock the harness robots. It's like,
Oh, yes.
Why would the key to unlocking a harness robot
Recliner
also be a gun that can necessarily sever the head from the body? It's like, oh no, you're free to go, and you sort of turn it the wrong way and you pull the trigger by accident. It's like, oh fuck, sorry. Oh, it turned left instead of right. Oh, it's lefty loosey, not righty tighty. Oh fuck.
Exactly. I'm going to get my reward, aren't I? Oh yes, don't worry, I'll set you free.
Yeah. Thump. Yeah.
Yes.
I'd like
You'll
to
get
say
your
there's
just
lots
desserts.
I'd like to say there's lots of good ideas that are very poorly used. I didn't mind those spider capture things.
No.
I thought that was all right. That was good. But it is let down by the way that it is used later on. The big spider that came down with the child. I really like that idea. But it's just wasted.
Yeah.
There's a lot of history that you could really dive into. It's got swathes of Dune in there as well. You think, oh yeah, okay, you could really build this up, but
You could, yeah.
if you like you said, Darren, it's like putting the script of Star Wars and all these other things into the shredder, plus a pancake, and then trying to put it all back together.
So let me get this straight: with the missing parts of the DNA, you used a pancake to put it all together. Well, that's crazy. Did you not know that that some pancakes can change their sex?
Yeah.
and then they can.
You were so obsessed of just saying you could. You never thought you should.
Do you know what, Lee? It's like you said earlier on. It's the whole thing of. It's the delivery, isn't it? Right? You can use cliche because you can use something from another film, right? This is it. It's really hard not to anyway. But it's Frank Carson. It's the way you tell him, man. It's the way you tell him. That it's not just a comedy saying. That's a fucking good piece of entertainment advice.
Yes, that is the problem. You could have. I mean, let's put it this way, right? The whole film, everyone says it. They say it's Star Wars Seven Samurai, Bug's Life, Battle Beyond the Stars, whatever you want
Love
to call
Actually.
it. Love Actually. Kramer versus Kramer. I mean,
Kramer versus Kramer. Yeah.
it's everything. It's everything, but
Mrs.
it learns
Brown's
the
Boys.
wrong lessons from everything. And the problem you have is that the storyteller is too high on his own supply. Because the thing that we haven't got to is the fact that there's going to be a 4-hour release of this film.
Yeah, it's the Snyder Cut. Did you not know that?
Yeah,
'Cause-
which comes back to what I'm saying about high on your own supply, because Netflix has recently started doing a thing where they tell you how well they're doing. Because normally, when we used to do the Wikipedia and do the budgets and everything, they wouldn't tell you how much money they made. And now they've decided that they're going to do it by saying so many 100,000 hours was watched by our collective, membership. So they value minutes, eyes on content, right? That's that. So they don't care if it's an hour-long R-rated film or an hour-long PG-13 film. If 2,000 people watched an hour-long film, that's what they care about. Now, that's nothing like the old film studios who have to sort of say, well, our film has to be this long because it's got to go in the cinema for X amount of hours and therefore has to have so many screenings in it and get so many ticket replies. You can't have like Lord of the Rings extended edition in the cinema because 100 people will see it. It will take up 4 hours, and we could put the Meg on 5 times and have 100 people see it each time.
Mm-hmm.
So what you do is, it's a completely different model. That's why, you do have director's cuts because films have to be cut to a runtime. To how much they can market it, how much they think people are going to see it, how much they'll sit through it. Netflix does not have that problem. So straight away, this whole idea that he's going to make a Snyder Cut is utterly, utterly disingenuous because he's not doing what he was doing with the fucking DC Universe thing, or Warner Brothers with Watchmen. He's not fighting the man. He's not had his version cut by someone else.
There hasn't had that argument in an office somewhere of no, this film has to be this length, and that is it.
Yeah.
It doesn't work with this now, does it?
No, it doesn't
There
work.
are no
with this model at all.
excuses.
No, because nobody came in and took over the production. This is the Snyder Cut. Everyone that he does is the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, and the fact was that when the film was actually being made, he was already touting 2 versions. So, and one's going to be a hard R, 18 rated. It's going to be, so it's going to be
pirate film.
R. Exactly. But it's going to be, what I'm saying, it's going to be tits and violence, right? But the problem is that the narrative is now that, he's going to fix all the issues.
What?
The 4-hour version is going to fix the issues of the 2-hour version, which means that he's cut a load of stuff out of it, possibly up to 40% of the film has been cut out that actually fixes the problems of the other film. In which case you say he's either A, a really shitty editor, because the problems are narrative and character development. They're not, I want to see more tits. Not that I want to see a farmer's love fest in the first 10 minutes. And not because I want to see more of Ed Skeen having fucking tentacles stuffed up his arse. I don't want any of that. I don't want another slow-mo fucking 4 hours of Sophia Botella leaping over the fucking Imperium wall in slow motion while music goes, oh, to try and tell us how mythic it all is. So, and let's just address this fucking slow mo. I was watching it, and at one point there was slow mo for dropping grain on the ground. There was
Yep.
slow-mo for casting grain on the ground. There was slow-mo for jumping over a table. There was slow-mo for grabbing a gun. There was slow-mo for turning round. There was slow-mo for a spaceship flying past. At one point, the entire one of her flashbacks was just her going, "Come on!" and
did you watch
running,
the other one?
"Come on, motherfucker!"
You remember, the general guy, right? There's a bit after
General Motors.
General Motors, right? It's a bit where they've taken him off the planet and they've got him on the ship and they're talking to him. And she's talking at normal speed and moving at normal speed, and he's moving in slow motion, right? Go back and watch that. You'll see it. He's just like, what I'm looking at thinking, what's wrong with this picture? And it's him moving in slow motion.
But and that's the point. So then you suddenly go, well, hang on. If you see the film and you think, 30% of it is unnecessary slow-mo, you're talking about, not only has he got a 4-hour cut of this movie, of which he's cut 45% out of it, but he could have put most of that back in just by literally turning the fucking slow-mo off and making this film half its length. It would have been, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Sophia Boutella's flashbacks, there's 2 of them. They're 10 minutes a pop. Half of it is in slow-mo. So you say each one's 5 minutes a pop. That's literally giving you another 10 minutes of runtime just by those 2 flashbacks. And those 2 flashbacks, only one of them tells you anything, and the other one is just her going, "Come on," and having a fight. It's like, why? It's just bizarre decisions. And the decisions are there just so that you can go, oh, look at this amazing, epic movie. And that's the other bit, he says now that he's on his fucking box. If anyone wants to jump in and stop me, by all means go for it, by the way. The other problem is that what's the difference between all of the movies that we've said this film references, from Willow to Harry Potter to fucking How to Train Your Dragon to Star Wars to Phantom Menace to anything, yeah? What's the difference? The difference is on every single solitary one of them. Magnificent Seven included, Seven Samurai included, Hidden Fortress as well. All these films he references. Do you know what they have, which this film does not actually have?
A script.
Well, apart from that. A sense of humour. A sense of fun. There is no fun. That's right. It's ridiculously, almost comically po-faced and so self-assured of its own importance. Everything is important. Everything is epic. Everything is mythic. And nothing can be epic if you don't give a shit about the things that are happening on screen.
Very true.
But also, every single movie we've referenced, none of them go over 2 hours, and all of them come to a complete conclusion. Battle Beyond the Stars is 92 minutes. It tells a tale in 92 minutes. This movie hadn't even got the team together in 92 minutes. A team that you don't even know the name of until 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Fuck this movie.
Fuck it.
Yeah. So, you know, like I say, people might like this. People like what Zack Snyder dishes out. And do you know what? Fine. Have at it. Love it. But don't fucking come at us saying that you don't understand it. People are haters. Because that's just not the discourse here. If you make a good thing, I will like it. You know? We all like Dawn of the Dead. Most of us liked Watchmen. It's, you know, we didn't just all of a sudden go, oh, Zack Snyder, we don't like him. He's had to make some shit for it not to work. It's not a Marvel
It's
DC.
like now he's like a parody of his own self.
Yeah.
He's kind of, it's to draw a musical parallel, he's like one of those rock stars. Once they get to a certain level of success and a certain amount of white powder enters their lives, suddenly they're making self-indulgent, 3-album epics where they're getting back in their, with their, blues roots.
Yes.
When you're thinking, hang on, you were a techno outfit when you started. What are you talking about, you blues roots, you daft twat?
Yeah.
Well, that's all the proving ground, though, isn't it? He's worked way through doing the Watchmen and stuff like that, and you think he's really paying attention, working on it, because you make one false move and it's all over. He's now got to that point where the yes men have come in. It doesn't matter if he makes a false move. Netflix have come along and thrown buckets of money at him. And so he doesn't have to worry about that anymore. He can throw the first script and say, well, we're making that. And people won't go, I've got the trailer on in the background as well, sorry, about his fucking poxy bloody arty thing. When that Gryffindor thingamajiggy flew over and she strokes the wing and her hand wasn't even in shot.
No.
You've totally missed the point there of her touching the feathers as it goes across. You've missed it. Load of shit. But anyway, yeah, sorry.
Euphemism if ever I heard one.
Yeah.
Touching the feathers.
Touching the feathers.
It's like touching cloth.
Yeah.
But he has reached a point where it's, well, I've earned this. I can do what I want. And you haven't applied yourself on it. This was your chance to actually create your own thing. Build your own world. Build your own Dune. Build your own Star Wars. Build your own space fantasy. Brilliant. I'm on board for that. I want new stuff. And yet you couldn't.
Yeah, and that's the problem. If you can't think of anything original, or you can't dress it up in an original set of clothes, why bother? And the problem is because you get people who will just say it's good and that's the end of it, and will accept it. The 4-hour cut is exactly the point. This is going to come out in April, and everyone will be having this same conversation all over again. The 4-hour cut really fixes the problems. It's like,
well, I'd hope so, to be honest, if that's possible.
No, but
but it's unnecessary, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on streaming, so there is no caging of this film.
No,
I mean, they could have released this as 6 films if there's a 4-hour cut of just the first half.
Yeah, but that's the point, isn't it? It's, at the end of the day, I can tell you now. There's another part coming. And it has
like its own extended cut that's 4 times as long.
Exactly. And then I tell you what, and then Netflix will release both cuts tied together as two films tied together. So there'll be Rebel Moon complete extended cut and Rebel Moon complete
low fat cut
or something like that. Yeah. And the problem is
then a Snyder cut of each of those as well.
Yeah, exactly. Where it all blends together, and it'll be an 8-hour, fucking longest Netflix ever, and only one person in 7 needs to actually watch it to get the same numbers as like half their content. So they'll just go, "Yeah, brilliant, fantastic." It's
pretty cynical, really, isn't it?
It is cynical, but the problem is it's completely supported by the fans, and that's fine. The problem is that the fans will, I mean, like I say, I'm fully expecting that next week we'll be up to our fucking neck in dog shit emails going, "No, you're just a hater. You're just a hater. You don't like Snyder. You've never liked Snyder. When DC beat Marvel, blah, 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 fucking blah." It's just
God's sake.
But it is that. You only have to look on IMDb. You look at the reviews. The reviews that are sort of 8 stars and above out of 10 are all never about how good the movie is. It's things like this. Here, how about this one? First 8-star review I come across. Sad that we are not allowed to enjoy this.
What? You can enjoy it if you want.
You can enjoy what the fuck you like, mate. Straight away, and it's like, but if you're a Star Wars fanboy, you may not like it. But if you go in open-minded, you will enjoy it. It's no.
You better, because otherwise you're cancelled.
Yeah. Yeah. Another one. Not sure where the hatred is coming from. So it's not
over here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, exactly.
Draw you a map.
Yeah, if you like. Yeah. I really liked it, but I feel this movie's getting review bombed. 8 stars. And the first thing it starts off with is my mum first sent me a message today after watching it saying, Rebel Moon, 3 thumbs up.
My arse.
Your family's got problems.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's your family tree like? A stump?
Yeah, exactly. What's your family tree like? Well, it's a compost heap. No, yeah. But you know what I mean? It's just... the problem is that the people, they're fans... You've got 2 sets of fans. You've got fans who will see
I think
things...
it's not fans. There's like supporters.
Cultists.
Yes. And it is kind of like, I me and Zack Snyder parted company a while back, but I will say, I don't mind. The directors could have sucker punch. I will go that far. And the sucker punch did suffer from the theatrical cut. It's kind of like
Jim.
They cut so much out,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't work. And whoever decided on those cuts was a moron. And that moron probably was Zack Snyder, I'm afraid, on later evidence. I'll tell you what, I'll cut out the scene that actually ties all the plot together. Yeah, that'll do. We'll cut out another early scene which actually sets up the tone for the movie. Yeah, we'll do that. That'll be fine. They'll never notice. I think we did. I think everyone did, Zach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it is kind of... this just doesn't work. This isn't good. It doesn't pass muster. And he has no excuse because he has all the money and all the indulgence and all the yes men. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? It's the George Lucas problem. It's the Ridley Scott problem. If you're standing there going, I don't give a fuck, give me more money, I'll make my thing, and I'm going to write the theme tune, sing the theme tune, edit the theme tune, then you're only going to make a thing that only you and your acolytes will like, because your acolytes will like something without question, as in this wonderful one, which is, where's the bloody review? I just went past it. People are far too picky these days. That's a review. Action-packed and really good. It's like, right, okay. And your problem is, it's Star Wars meets Dune, but better.
See, saying action-packed, it wasn't. I don't think it was action-packed.
No, it was very action-light. I was very disappointed. It's kind of, there was no spaceship dogfights. There wasn't a good space chase.
No.
There was a pointless Avatar sub rip-off of riding a griffin, which wasn't very interesting and wasted my time.
Mm-hmm.
I like the first fight where she takes out the guys.
The space South Africans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. And that's in that scene, the slow-mo made sense.
Yeah.
It shows her looking, all right, he's there.
Yeah.
But everything after that, it was a distinct lack of actors. Well, they rehashed, Lady with the Hot Swords versus the Rachnos, but...
The Rachnos.
There wasn't much else. You know what I mean? It was kind of like... This bit at the end, it's just... I think I turned to it and said, I don't know what's going on. It's just explosions in fog. I have no sense of scale or who's doing what to where or how any of this has happened, and I don't care anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
And it was so low key, like a cheap fight in a warehouse, in like an 80s TV action movie. You know what I mean?
Just round the corner, fucking Christopher Lambert and Clancy Brown are going at it in the other room. Yeah.
But it was just dreadful. It was so lackluster. You know what I mean? It's kind of if you just threw in just lots of spaceship, the Reverend Ogg defense, show me spaceships blowing each other up, I'd have given this film more points. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have cared that the script was leaden, that the story was nonsense, if stuff actually had happened.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the problem, isn't it? It just goes nowhere, and basically wastes every opportunity it's got. And if that's fine for people, then it's fine for people, but it's not fine for
No,
me.
it's not acceptable anymore.
No, I think we got past this in the 80s, didn't we? When your characters didn't have to have any more motivation than I'm a cop on the edge with a big gun and mirrored glasses, you know. But there you go. Right. Anyway, I think we should wrap it up there because I'm sure when it comes to feedback next week, we may be either inundated or completely blacklisted and nobody's listening to us.
Oh well.
Indeed.
Either way, screw those losers. Right, so thank you very much for that listening. By the way, if you want to send any feedback in, do send it into feedback@blackdogpodcast.com. If you want to leave a message on the Facebook group, go to facebook.com/groups/the Black Dog Podcast. Or if you want to follow us on Letterboxd, or rather me on Letterboxd, go to Letterboxd, that's letterboxd.com/Black Dog Podcast. Right. Now that's all done. Let's find out what next week's movie is going to be before we head on to Pip's Corner. Jim, it is your choice. Are you going to take revenge on us, or are you?
Well, when I saw Rebel Moon, I said, "This is what happens when I leave you unsupervised, isn't it?"
Yeah. Yeah, we said that. We said
Gone
that.
for 5 minutes.
Gone for 5 minutes. I decide to have a week off, and look what fucking happens. He's burnt the kitchen down. The garage door don't shut. Everything's gone wrong. Go on in.
But it's one of those that, in fairness, though, I kind of was intrigued to watch Rebel Moon just to see what it was like. Now, left to my own devices, I probably wouldn't have bothered. And that's the great thing about a podcast. Sometimes it makes you watch a movie. And in that spirit comes my pick.
No.
It's a film. It's just out. I've been umming about whether to watch it. I wasn't sure, but it's one of those films I've been told it's best to go in blind and know as little as possible about it. So I've been trying to do that, and I know if I keep fannying about and dithering, I will hit the spoiler wall, and it'll be pointless me watching it. So I've picked it. It's just arrived on Amazon Prime, and it's called Saltburn.
Oh, I was going to watch this.
Oh, okay.
This is on my list.
Oh, you filthy monkey.
Oh,
Look at you.
So that's it. It could be a punishment watch. It might be a treat. I don't know. I know it's a very divisive movie. Some people think it's amazing. Other people say it's horrible.
yeah.
For various reasons. Good horrible and bad horrible.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I thought that'd be interesting.
Funny enough, if I had COVID for one more day, and I wasn't in work yesterday, that was the next one on my list to watch.
Empire Magazine, get that on the cover, on the poster. Go on. There's your one-line pull quote for this movie.
I would have watched it if I had COVID for one more day. So I haven't watched it. There you go. That's my answer. So Darren, you haven't seen this then?
No, I want to though.
Cool. Okay. So Jim hasn't watched it. Darren hasn't watched it. And over to Elton. Have you watched it?
No, I haven't, but yeah, I'm aware of it, and yeah, I was planning on watching it. So yeah, it'll probably be the best film I've seen this year.
Statistically, yeah.
It's a very, very low bar at the moment.
Yeah. This could run every week, you know.
Yeah,
the way
this is
we
the
go.
best film I've seen all year. Right. Well, Saltburn. It's on Amazon Prime. None of us have seen it, and it was only in the cinema. Was it a month ago? 2 months ago? Something like that. So,
It was in the cinema. Okay.
Yeah, it made it into the cinema. It was in the cinema for a limited release. Yeah, whatever's going on with it, the only thing I do know about it is that thanks to it, Sophie Ellis-Bextor's back in the Spotify channel.
Oh.
That's all I know. Genuinely, no spoilers. I have no idea because I heard it on Radio 2 this morning that the film is called Sophie Ellis-Bextor's Murder on a Dance Floor to go to number one in Spotify or something.
Hooray.
Hey, don't knock it.
Murder on the dance floor.
Better not
Better
kill the
not kill
wolf.
Huge eye.
Anyway, right, okay, well, there you go. So Saltburn. No idea what's going on. We'll find out. We'll find out next week. And I'm kind of intrigued as to how you're going to explain the plot there, Jim.
Well, I might have made a rod for my own back then in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Tune in next week.
Tune in next week as we all sit there trying to work out what the plot is. So there you go. Right. Well, with that out the way, we've just got the one thing to do, which is Pimp's Corner. So over to you, Jim. What's going on in Hypnagoria now?
Nothing at the minute.
Woohoo!
For a change.
That makes a change.
Now, there might be a story out later in the week on my reading show, and possibly a new chapter of Universal Horror History.
Okay.
Maybe. Depends. We'll see.
See how
I've got a bit of a bad throat this week. It's very much depending whether tomorrow I wake up and we're talking like this or not, whether anything happens.
Yeah. Don't promise anything. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Good plan.
I did an advent calendar, do your podcast every day over Christmas. I'm having some time off.
Damn fucking straight. Damn right. Right. Well, stay safe. Don't rest that mellifluous voice. Brilliant. Okay. And what about you, Elton? What's going on over at Rogue 2 Media?
I'm on my last journey very soon on the Long Dark, so I'll be releasing that very soon. And nothing that I've been doing, but I have been listening to The Great Derelict and the Narrative Labyrinth. They did a 12 days of Star Wars over the Christmas period, and really enjoyed it.
Interesting. Cool. Yeah, I listened to a couple of them. I haven't listened to them all, I'll be honest with you, because I have my own preconceived notions and I need to take a moment to deep dive into one or two of those episodes that come up because I know how it's going to go. So, but that's fair. I'd be interested to listen to them because, all opinions are good opinions.
I just enjoyed it for a period piece. I'm going to download them, save them, and crack them out every Christmas, I think. Yeah. Stop it.
Steady.
Stop it.
Sorry, I am.
Is it every sentence I say? Honestly.
Yep.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay.
It's not so much a double entendre.
It's just an entendre.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Just
An
there you go.
ensemble of entendres.
Entendre. Yeah. Songle entendre. Cool. Okay. So there's nothing going on Rogue 2.
No, just taking some time off.
Okay. So there you go. Right, well, you can still listen to your back catalogue on rogue2media.com and Jim's back catalogue on hypnagoria.com.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
More than enough to keep you going for a good few years without us lifting a finger.
I was going to say you're so prolific at one point. I think you've actually filled up my my fucking phone. I think I do. I listen to a podcast on a walk every morning, and I'm pretty sure I'll have to walk to fucking John O'Groats before I hit the bottom of your list. But anyway, no. So yes, do go listen to those, and obviously go listen to The Great Derelict because yes, they do good stuff over there. That's all I can say. GreatDerelict.libsyn.com and our other friends on the broadcast at broadcast.libsyn.com. And in fact, you know what? Anyone who listens to us, we've referenced once before, go listen to them as well. Brilliant. There you go. Happy New Year, everyone. Darren, I'm just guessing you haven't got anything to promote, star in, be anywhere.
No, not at all.
Brilliant. In which case, that's it. We'll leave it there. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Elton.
Not a problem.
And thank you all again for listening. And take care, and we'll see you all soon with Saltburn, which has nothing to do with sticking your willy in a bowl in a salt grinder. Honestly,
is that our secret phrase for the week?
Maybe actually, yeah. Willy in a salt grinder. Willy in a salt grinder. Please don't be. Or is luck just you and me? Right. Anyway, and on that note, there you go. Salt Willy and a salt grinder. That's going to be in my head now while I'm editing all night. Right. Until next week. Take care. Tatty, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You got cut off. There you go. Jim said bye. Go on, Elton.
Okay, bye. There you go.
Wow. High energy finale. Woohoo! Hold on. I'll leave it here. Bye, everyone.
Titsu Canada.
Oh, bollocks to it.